4 starts, 1-0, 3.13 ERA. He's got 13 walks, 17 strikeouts. And the G pitcher scouting report, he's getting stronger, as we said, Singy. We saw that game, 7 innings against Detroit, his last start. Mix in the hook, good curveball. He threw a lot of good curveballs his last start. And pitches out of jams with runners in scoring position throughout his career. Jabba has a 198 batting average against, 26 for 131 in his career.
And the 1-0. 2-0. His last start against Detroit, the most efficient of his big league career in terms of pitches per inning, 12.6. And there's a strike called by home plate umpire Mike DeMuro. Right back up the middle and a base hit. That's the guy you want to keep off the bases. He has 14 stolen bases. Jacoby Ellsbury with the leadoff single. Let's take a look at the Yankees defense, which is brought to you by our good friends at Home Depot. In the outfield, you've got Damon in left, Cabrera in center, and Swisher in right. Infield, Pena, Cheater, Cano and Teixeira, that's third to first. Molina behind the plate, and he will be the starting catcher with Posada on the DL. And Jabba Chamberlain is on the mound.
I think that line drive got a piece of Jabba on the way into center field. He was flexing his, I believe, his right leg. His ball's hit pretty hard into center by Ellsbury, the leadoff hitter. Now let's take another look. There's the line. Yep, looked like got him on the right foot. Jabba shakes it off. Keeps on ticking. Here's one more look at it, and that's. I mean, a pitcher finishes about, what, 55 feet away from home plate, and it's amazing to me. It shows you what good athletes pitchers are, because they got to get that glove hand up. You know, sometimes self-defense.
Runner goes, a throw to second. That's the 15th stolen base of the year for Ellsbury.
Ellsbury did not waste any time. Got a decent jump. And he was leading the league a couple of days ago. We mentioned last night Carl Crawford was off and running against the Red Sox, took over the league with 6 stolen bases in one game. Ellsbury trying to get back in a race. Stole his 14th last night, his 15th tonight.
Count 2-0. Now Jabba against Boston in his career, 3 starts, 4 relief appearances, 2-0. 2.78 ERA, 22 2/3 innings, 21 hits, 21 strikeouts to go along with 12 walks. See what Pedroia has done since April 17th, red hot at 379. Grounded in the hole and under the glove of Jeter, and it trickles into left field. Ellsbury had to hold up. And he stops at third. So a base hit for Pedroia. Runners on the corners, nobody out.
Yeah, that's how Ellsbury actually helped out Pedroia getting a hit here, because both the infielders are trying to hold it close at second. So they're pitching towards the middle. That means Derek's range to his right is cut down somewhat. And although this was not a hard hit ball, you can see Derek kind of right behind Ellsbury to hold him close, and he couldn't get to the hole quickly enough, and it's runners at first and third. So Ellsbury actually helped Pedroia get a base hit there.
Here's David Ortiz. 2 doubles against the Yankees last night, but he's riding the longest home run less streak since 2002. Strike.
Last night the Yankees trying to pound him inside. And towards the end of the game you started looking there. And if you're going to do it, you better have something on it. Because all hitters make adjustments during the course of the game, and Big Pop, he's still quick enough to pick up a couple of doubles in right field.
Blocked there by Molina.
You know, ironically about Ortiz, most of his hits this year are to left field. And you think about Fenway Park in Boston. You know, he has 22 hits, 11 of them to left field. Only 9 to make that 7 to right field.
You know, Singing, you brought that up last night, which is a great point. And obviously, the entire American League so far is trying to pound him in to test that wrist. But sooner or later, a veteran hitter is going to cheat and get to that ball, and you still have to mix it up.
Job has fallen behind on some counts here.
IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. Line drive, base hit to center field. That'll score Ellsbury. Pedroia goes to second. An RBI single for Ortiz, and just like that, the Red Sox have a run.
We'll take a look at the sequence here. Jabba against Ortiz. Right inside, gets the call. Good frame job. Now comes right in with the slider, blocked by Molina. High slider. And there's just another little slider, little off-speed pitch. Maybe a changeup out over the plate. And that, Ortiz, you're talking about his bat speed, maybe not quite as good as it's been in the past. This just speeds up his bat, gives him a chance to see it, stays on it, and he's got a ribby right back up the box.
So Jabba in immediate trouble, first and second. One run in. Here's Jason Bay.
I think at this point in the season, not to say it's not going to happen in the future, but I think you're doing Ortiz a favor when you're throwing something off speed.
Now we've detailed Ortiz's struggle so far this year, but not with runners in scoring position. He's 8 for 23, which is .348. And Jason Bay's been a thorn in the Yankees side over the first 4 games of the year. A home run off the foul pole yesterday. 2 out, bottom of the 9th, a home run against Mariano Rivera a couple of Fridays ago.
You can see what his manager, Terry Francona, thinks of him. He's been hitting .6 most of the year, and with the injury to Kevin Youkilis, who's out of the lineup tonight, is number 4 hitter who jumps into the 4 spot. Jason Bay.
Driven deep to left field. Damon back. He's on the track. Leaps. See ya. A 3-run home run for Jason Bay. An awful start for Jabba and the Yankees as the Red Sox lead 4-0.
Well, David, you almost think that this is out over the plate. Here's the first pitch. It's low for ball 1. He's fallen behind every hitter in this inning. There's a breaking ball for a strike. Yep, up, belt high, out over the plate. And that's a bad pitch to be throwing Jason Bay, as the Yankees have seen. This is his 3rd home run against the Yankees this year. And this is only the 5th game between the 2 teams.
All 3 pitches have almost been in the same spot. As you see Molina, this ball's supposed to be over here. It ends up over here. And that's missing your target by about 8 to 10 inches. Right where Jason Bay likes it. Belt high, right out over the plate. All 3 of his home runs this year against the Yankees have been in that location. As you see, easy to get some lift on that pitch. Jason Bay's got a kind of a hooking, driving swing, very powerful swing. Well, he's really driven the ball against the Yankees this year. And for Manny Ramirez's replacement, he's really endeared himself to Red Sox fans since he's come over.
Breaking ball was outside to Mike Lowell. Fouled away.
So far, Job has thrown 1 first pitch strike, and that was to Ellsbury. And it's a nice feeling for a pitcher, particularly on the road in hostile territory. Before you even hit the mound, you got a lead to work with.
Well, let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. No rain tonight, which is a big break. 54% or 54 degrees is the temperature, 87% humidity. But there is a chance of late showers. Pitch is inside. Home plate umpire tonight is Mike DeMuro. Both teams were not enamored with the strike zone yesterday of Jerry Meals, and Joe Girardi got thrown out. 2-2. Grounded through for a base hit. 5 batters, and Jabba has yet to get an out.
We talked singing last night about what a good fastball hitter Mike Lowell is. He can go out and hook these balls. You see Molina setting up away, and that ball just drifts right back down to the middle again. See, Molina's going to move his glove, and Mike Lowell's got the type of swing where not only is he quick, he's got good plate coverage. You see him almost off the end of the bat. He goes out and hooks that ball, gets it right in the hole.
He's got a Fenway Park swing. This kind of reminds me of a start that Jabba had in spring training, where he struggled in the first inning.
Well, in regular season games, this is unusual for Jabba, as J.D. Drew launches one to right, but Nick Swisher's there. Finally one out. Jabba had given up 4 runs total in the first inning of his career before tonight. And somewhat of a derisive Bronx cheer as Drew is retired. So one away, and that'll bring up Jeff Bailey. Bailey's in there replacing Kevin Youkilis. Youkilis hurt his back on a swing last night, but he's not on the DL. He's actually listed as an extra for the Red Sox. Bailey could not hold up. Right back to Java. Let's see if they get 2. There's 1 on to first. It's a double play. But there has been damage done. 4 runs on 5 hits. The big blow on the bat of Jason Bay. He's becoming game's best pitchers, and that is Josh Beckett. Let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup that Beckett's going to face, and it's presented by BMW. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off. Batting second and playing left field is Johnny Damon. Mark Teixeira, the first baseman, is going to hit third. So far this season against the Red Sox, just over 250. Hideki Matsui DHs and cleans up. Batting fifth and playing second base, Robinson Cano. Nick Swisher's in right field, hitting sixth. The number 7 hitter, center fielder Melky Cabrera. Ramiro Pena at third base will hit eighth, and batting ninth and catching, Jose Molina.
And here's Josh Beckett. He was the first-round pick of the Florida Marlins in 1999, second in the nation. You see his season so far, 5 starts, 2-2, 7.22 ERA. Boy, a lot of base runners seeing. 28.2 innings. Quite a few. We see the G pitcher scouting report right at top, 52 and 28.2. That's how many base runners he's had. 52 base runners in 28.2 innings. That's a lot. He's still the key to the rotation, though. He's the leader of their staff. He's got a great postseason record, 7-2 with a 2.90 ERA in postseason. So, you know, they need to get him going. And
Derek Jeter brought a bat up to home plate, and then when he got there, he realized it was cracked. So he had to run back and get a new one.
Yeah, sometimes you get a hairline fracture there.
Just to finish that point on Josh Beckett, third, he knows how to finish. Career, he's 8.6 Ks per 9 innings.
And the pitch to Jeter is inside. 1-0.
Well, this is a good news, bad news situation for the Yankees. Bad news first. You're down 4-0. The good news is there's plenty of time in this game if your pitching staff comes through and holds them to get back into it.
Well, Beckett faced the Yankees on April 25th. He got hit hard, 5 innings, 10 hits, 8 runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, and he served up 2 home runs. And the Yankees hit him pretty well throughout his career. He has a 5.90 ERA against them. Foul back. 13 starts, 7-4 with a 5.90. I told you about Mike DeMuro behind the plate. The first base umpire is James Hoy. The veteran crew chief, Dale Scott, is the second base ump, and Jerry Needles over at third. Jerry threw out Joe Girardi yesterday, as Girardi tried to get between Needles and Jeter. The 2-2. How about these numbers? In his last 2 starts, Beckett has a 13.97 ERA. 9 2/3 innings pitched, 20 hits.
You wonder, with a pitcher of his caliber, how this happens. You know, I guess pitchers go into slumps just as well as hitters do.
Two. High fly ball, right field. Drew, 1 out. Let's check out the Red Sox defense, presented by the Home Depot. In the outfield, you've already seen Drew. Ellsbury's in center, Bays in left. Go the other way in the infield, Lowell, Green, Pedroia, and Bailey. Bailey making his 3rd start at first base this year. And Varitek's behind the plate. Beckett's on the mound.
I was going to ask David, he ever went through situations where things just didn't seem to be working?
Especially early in the season. You know, Josh Beckett's stuff is still there, as evidence. You know, he's still got more than a strikeout per inning. He's just walked more guys than he usually does. He's usually had good control, and he's obviously given up some hits. He has been prone to giving up long balls in the past.
And Damon punches it through the left side for base hit. Damon now 6 for his last 11 against Beckett.
You know, Singy, I'd be more worried, you know, as we take a look. You see, this is a good pitch. Good running fastball. You see Varitek.
Might have been off the plate.
Got running off the plate. Johnny Damon's got that kind of style. He's a slashing type hitter. He's got good plate coverage. Look at him go out. He's just almost trying to spoil that pitch and ends up getting a base hit out of it. But to finish that point on Josh Beckett, you know, his stuff's still there. He's still throwing hard. His velocity's there. He's still got the K-ball going. He's still getting strikeouts. You know, it's a couple bad starts in April. You know, I don't think the Red Sox are too worried about this guy, although they would like to see him get going here. Especially with this start against the Yankees. He's now been spotted 4 runs.
And Yankees would like to have the guy at the plate get going as well. Yesterday, 2 home runs for Teixeira, 1 from each side. Breaking ball strike, although in the 9th inning when they were trying to come back, he did strike out against Jonathan Papelbon. 195 average, so he's on the interstate that runs right through New York and Connecticut.
On your way up to Boston.
That's right.
All the way up and down the East Coast when you think about it.
Take you all the way to Florida. The 0-1. There's a strike.
I've made that drive a few times, Michael.
You've driven to Florida?
Straight through, right down 95.
Didn't have the plane fare, or you just felt like hitting the road?
Just like hitting the road, you know. It says that Midwestern upbringing, you know, we're drivers.
I've done that to spring training.
Have you?
Yeah.
Made a few stops on the way, of course.
Three straight breaking balls to Teixeira, and you know, as a hitter, it's in the back of your mind. I know he's got a fastball out there somewhere. With the count 0-2, it might be a fastball he's going to try and make you chase. Maybe just a hair above the strike zone, or maybe a sinker down and away, just to make you go for it and get yourself out, more or less. Beckett he's a quality pitcher. You know, you got your hands full as a hitter. You think about last night's game. Lester came in with a record of 1-2.
Beckett is better at Fenway, 2-0 with a 6 ERA in 3 starts. And on the road, he's 0-2 with a 9.28. These are numbers that you just don't associate with Josh Beckett, and that's in 2 starts on the road. Swing and a miss. Has Teixeira down on strikes.
Looked like a breaking ball that actually broke out of the zone. Now he threw him 3 in a row, and here's another one that actually ends up a ball. And I think sometimes as a hitter, when you start hitting home runs, you get up there and you want to hit more right away. It's a good feeling to hit one out of the ballpark, and you become less patient than usual. And Teixeira, as we all know, is a pretty patient hitter. He's third in the league in walks, and this time he leaves the strike zone on a pitch that's out of the zone.
Good pitch, though. It's a really good finish pitch. And I've said that before. I told you last night, Singy, I got a boatload of strikeouts on pitches in the dirt. You know, that's one thing Phil Hughes wasn't able to do last night. Not only throw his curveball for strikes, but to use it to finish. And that's perfect. Drop that curveball right on home plate when you get ahead. Be surprised how many swings and misses you get.
Matsui slashes one foul.
Beckett knows that. You know, I mentioned in the Jeep scouting report, as you look at Matsui's numbers there in the last 13 games, especially hot. Beckett's got 8.6 strikeouts in his career per 9 innings. He knows how to finish hitters.
Teixeira kind of finished himself in that at bat.
Starting to rain here at the stadium. What new? Sunday's game rained out with the Angels. Last night's game, the start was delayed over 2 hours. And the 0-1. Line drive, base hit to right. Damon advances to second.
Now, last night, Matsui's hitting streak was stopped at 12 during a pinch hit performance, and he struck out pinch hitting. Well, now he's starting a new one. That had some movement, but it was up a little bit, about thigh high. And Matsui, the way he's going, he's going to put the good part of the bat on it and line it over Pedroia.
He's just getting more drive with his lower half. You can see he's staying on that pitch. Just much better balance at the plate. Really driving that back leg.
Here's Cano, struck out to end the game yesterday with the bases loaded. Good numbers against Beckett, 12 for 33. 2 home runs, a 364 lifetime average. I asked Robinson today, simply put, why are you better this year than you were last year? He said, because Kevin Long came down to the Dominican Republic and worked with me. He said, and we decided that I had been swinging at balls that were out of the zone. He goes, I'm not afraid to take pitches now. I'm not afraid to get 2 strikes. He goes, and if you don't swing at pitches off the plate, they've got to throw you better pitches. He said, I could drive them.
You just look at his on-base percentage over 386. Last year, it was barely over 300 for the whole season.
Look at the difference. 1 year ago, today hitting 154. Count 2-1.
You know, Singy, we've seen a lot of center fielders nowadays playing really shallow. Jacoby Ellsbury is certainly an example of that. You see how shallow he's playing, especially with Death Valley and left here, notorious at Yankee Stadium, 399 to left center. Robinson Cano can drive the ball. Boy, that's extremely shallow right there, and shaded to the right side of second base.
Popped up in the infield. Pedroia will make the play for the final out of the first. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left as Beckett pitches out of trouble. We go to the second. finish this homestand. Both of them on yes, both 7 o'clock starts. And then the Yankees will head down to Baltimore Friday and Saturday nights at 7 on yes. And then a Sunday game that starts at 1:30 also on yes. We go to the second inning. Let's see if Jabba Chamberlain has recovered from a rocky first inning as the Red Sox put a 4 spot on the board. It'll be Varitek, Green, and Ellsbury, 8, 9, and 1 in the Boston order.
Let's take a look at the scouting report on Jason Varitek. He's a true team leader, you know, and he's the captain, and he really leads that team. Back in Beantown, a lot of talk whether he'd come back. Looking for a big free agent deal, didn't really get it. Took sort of an incentive-laden deal to come back to Boston, and I think he's kind of getting his power stroke back this year, Singy. I mean, last year I think he had 20 doubles and 13 home runs. This year already 4 home runs. He looks like he's driving the ball much better. Certainly drove an A.J. Burnett pitch for a grand slam in Boston last week.
9 of his 16 hits for extra base hit so far this year. You spent 1 year in Boston. Is Varitek everything they make him out to be as a leader?
Well, he really is. He calls the game very well. Pitchers love throwing to him. He frames very well. We saw him last night frame some good pitches and get some strikes.
And Jabba gets a strike 3 right there on Varitek.
Yeah, he might get framed himself on this one. You know, Molina's an excellent catcher as well. Jabba hit the outside corner 3 straight times. Just held it right there, and good pitches. Close.
You can see Varitek puts his head down right to the dugout. That's the right thing to do because he's got Beckett on the mound, and he's going to want that pitch as well.
Pitch to Nick Green is outside.
But to answer your question, Michael, yes, Varitek is a true team leader. There's some guys that are, you know, sort of leaders by committee, or some teams that lead by committee. Jason Varitek is the guy on that team, the go-to guy, the guy everybody respects. In the offseason, there was a lot of talk about whether to bring him back or not. You know, if he doesn't come back, who's going to replace him? Who's going to replace that void in the leadership? And certainly didn't get the deal that he was looking for. Probably coming off of an off season last year. But I guarantee you that all the pitching staff is glad to see him back.
You know, it works for the Red Sox too. He gets a natural day off when Tim Wakefield pitches, so there's his respite every 5 days. Because Wakefield has his own catcher.
Tim Wakefield, a guy who's never really gotten the credit for the roles he's played for this Boston team. You know, when you talk about some of the greatest knuckleballers of all time, I think he belongs in that conversation. You know, that's how good he's been for the Boston Red Sox.
It's third winningest pitcher in their history, after Clemens and Cy Young.
That's nice company.
Oh, isn't it?
And a guy who will do anything. You know, you need him to relieve, he'll relieve. You know, he's been back and forth between the rotation and relieving. He'll do whatever's asked.
Jabba's got to make the first inning his bad inning and just go from there in hopes that the offense can pick up the pace and bail him out.
3-2. Strike 3 right down the middle. Green down looking.
Well, we know Jabba's not afraid to throw off-speed pitches when he's behind in the count. Here's another one, a 3-2 slider right there. You see Nick Green was frozen. He reads fastball. He buckles. If you're going to throw a 3-2 breaking ball, you better make sure it's thrown for a strike, because a lot of times hitters will take it, and certainly that was the case there.
Back to the top of the lineup in Ellsbury. Upstairs, 1-0. Another cold evening here in the Bronx. Somewhat colder feeling than the actual temperature, but everyone in the crowd bundled up for this one. High fly ball, shallow right center, and Nick Swisher didn't see it and caught sight of it and then made the catch. So a 1-2-3 inning for Jabba Chamberlain, who bounces back from the rocky first, and we go to the bottom of the second. scan on Yankee Stadium. And it took only 284 days to complete that jewel of a ballpark. So they started on May 5th of 1922, and it opened up on May 18th of 1923. Check that, April 18th of 1923 against the Red Sox, and it cost $2.5 million to build. And your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer is on the web at searchmercedes.com. Nick Swisher takes pitch outside from Beckett. The count 1-0. 4-0 Red Sox. We're in the bottom of the second. Swisher, Cabrera, and Pena 6, 7, 8 in the Yankee order. And a strike. Off-speed pitch for a strike. Nick has 6 hits in his last 14 at-bats. Hitting an even 300. Switch hitter batting from the left side. High fly ball center field. Ellsbury. Wind takes it just a bit. One away. Hey, stay tuned during the 6th inning for a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network. Well, we talked about the wind yesterday. If you look at the flags in left center field, they are blowing straight in. It did not stop Jason Bay's ball from going out, but it is a brisk wind again tonight.
Yeah, there's not much stopping him right now. Right? He's about as locked in as anybody in the Red Sox lineup. They've got a few hitters who are swinging the bat pretty well.
Pitch to Melky Cabrera is a strike. Swisher, Cabrera, and Pena all switch hitters against the righty Josh Beckett. Way out in front is Melky, count 0-2.
You know, singing Jason Bay grew up and he had a sister named Lauren who was on Team Canada USA softball team. Supposedly she had the better arm in the family growing up. Jason was a hockey player from Canada.
Aren't they all?
I think his whole family, quite an athletic family he comes from.
Trail, BC.
Trail, BC, that's it. His sister's younger sister Lauren was the one with the arm in the family.
You know, sometimes you wonder about the players that have come from small markets into the glare of the big market teams, and it hasn't bothered him a bit. He's doing the same thing he did in Pittsburgh. He was a good player with the Pirates. When he comes to Boston, the glare of the bright lights, the big city, or bigger city, I should say, and stepping into the American League East, and he's become a factor in the early going here this year.
Good year for him to have a good year because he's going to be a free agent at the end of the season. 2-2. Count 3-2. Pena on deck. Line drive, a base hit to center field. That base hit extends Melky's hitting streak to 9 straight.
This is one of those chuck and ducks. I don't think this has ever happened to you, did it, David?
Oh, quite a bit. Especially when you're throwing that running fastball out over the plate. You better be ready. See Veritek set up a way, the ball's running, but Melky's all over it. But once again, Melky gets into a deep count. Similar to what we talked about with Robinson Cano earlier in this broadcast. On base percentage up, and both he and Cano have gotten a lot of quality at bats and gotten a lot deeper counts too.
Here is Ramiro Pena, 6 hits in his last 12 at bats.
One of the great Red Sox pitchers of, well, kind of recent vintage was Louis Tiant. And Louis Tiant had been pitching against Frank Howard of Washington, and the scouting report was they were going to try and pitch him away, but Louis kept throwing the ball in. And, you know, he's hitting the ball off the wall in Boston, and they came out to him, Louis, how come you keep pitching him in? He says, he's not going to kill me hitting somebody through the middle. It's not exactly the way Louis said it, but you get the drift. He didn't want to throw the ball out over the plate so Howard hit the ball back through the middle.
There's a lot of truth in that. You know, especially for a right-handed pitcher against left-handed batters. If you do not establish it and keep them honest, they will. And that's what they're taught. You guys are taught that by hitting coaches. Hit the ball right back up the middle. Hit it at the pitcher.
That's what Brett Gardner was working on before the game down near the batting cage. I got to watch him.
The 0-2. Grounded to first. Jeff Bailey steps on the bag one. Throws to second for a 1-6, a double play. Turned nicely by Jeff Bailey. So the Yankees get a hit, but it's quickly erased on this double play ground ball. No runs a hit. Nobody left on base. Andy Sonnenstein 1-3, 6.75 against A.J. Burnett, 2-0 with a 5.40. The BP show starts at 6. Pre-game at 6:30. Game time at 7:07. Right here on Yes. Pitch to Pedroia is low, 1-0. On the Modell scoreboard, it's 4-0 Red Sox. Modell's is the official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees.
Jabba had a nice comeback inning in the second. Struck out the first two guys. Lazy fly ball for a 1-2-3 inning.
Count 2-2.
Good looking slider. As you see Jabba's pitch total there on a 2-1 count. That's what Jabba does so well. Even though he had the rough first inning, you know, he can pitch backwards. He can throw breaking balls when he's behind in the count for strikes.
Grounded off the glove of Jabba. That's going to be a base hit. So Pedroia is 2 for 2.
It's one of those ones, Singy, you almost wish you wouldn't have touched. You know, if he lets it go, it probably gets the play made for him. But this is instinct. You know, you see Pedroia reaching, jumps back, tries to backhand it off the heel of the glove. And it's hard to say whether if he touches this or not, if this play gets made. But
those are the type of hits that make you a 300 hitter. When you get a hit like this, and pitcher's going for it, deflects it, so nobody has a play on it. And now Pedroia is 2 for 2 tonight.
Here's David Ortiz. Now, some of these hitters in the Red Sox lineup they're very good hitters, but there's got to be an explanation for this. If you look at these hitters against the Yankees, Jason Bay, 333. Mike Lowell, 319. David Ortiz, 313. Dustin Pedroia, 322. Kevin Youkilis, 313. Are they pitching these guys the wrong way? I mean, they're all good hitters, but they should all be over 300.
I think, personally, I feel when the Yankee pitchers are making a mistake, they are capitalizing on it. Every single one of these guys seems to have gotten some big hits at the right time for the Red Sox off a pitch that was somewhere near the middle of the plate. You've seen the pitches that Bay has hit against the Yankees this year. I mean, all in the same place and all going out of the ballpark. Mike Lowell last night gets a fastball right there, got off the bus looking for it, hit it out of the park. I just think that the Yankee pitchers are not making the pitches they were making coming out of spring training. And that's why the ERA is elevated, and it's going to get better. It's like hitters being in a slump. It can happen to pitchers too. I think it's going to get better, Michael.
I understand all that, but the numbers I gave were career. They've never been able to get out these guys. I just don't get it. I mean, David Ortiz has almost 100 RBIs against them in about 110 games lifetime. It shouldn't be that drastic.
I think another factor is Fenway Park itself. It's one of the best hitting ballparks in baseball. And over the years, the Red Sox have had a great record at home, and they play 50-50 on the road, or worse. So the reason why they really hit well, look at Youkilis. He's hitting almost 500 at home this year. It's a great hitting ballpark, and the Red Sox, before they learned that you needed some defense and some speed, I mean, going back to the 70s and before that, they were basically a home team. They really played well at Fenway and not so well on the road until they figured out you needed some speed in the lineup. And it goes back to getting Dave Roberts on their team. Then they became a team that could also win on the road.
Got a feeling they've got some numbers like that against other teams too, Michael. Yeah. Those are pretty good hitters as well. But certainly part of it, certainly part of it may be the approach and the scouting reports and how you pitch certain hitters. But the biggest part is execution, as you said, Singy. These guys are great mistake hitters.
And Ortiz swings and misses.
We're going to see Jabba continue to sort of mature as a pitcher, and this is Jabba's changeup. You see Ortiz way out in front. Singy, we talked about it. You just can't continually pound this guy inside with every pitch. You have to show him other pitches, and you see that he's cheating right there. Anytime you see a swing like that on a changeup, he's cheating looking for a fastball.
There's Jason Bay. And there's a strike.
Well, we talked about this is Mariano in Boston. So Alfredo Aceves last night, and this was earlier tonight against Jabba Chamberlain. All at about the same area, and that's our Bay watch for the night. And the Yankees are finding out he's no day at the beach if you throw a ball right there.
They try outside, count 1-1.
I mean, all those pitches in just about the same area.
Weak hack right there, kind of caught between checking and letting it go.
I think with that particular pitch, it started in the area where he likes it. He recognized fastball, but it wasn't. It was actually a slider and a very good one. So he sees it. He recognizes the pitch that he almost hit, that he hit the first time up, but it's not it. Good pitch from Jabba. Good call by Molina.
Well, Singy, we talked about this. As you see Bay's stance, really wide open stance. He gets both of his eyes on the pitcher, but his first move is to dive back in. He'll bring that lead foot back in.
Strike three. Bay down looking. Fourth strikeout for Chamberlain.
It's another good slider. You see Molina setting up away, and this is sharp and quick, and Molina really catches that low pitch just about as well as anybody. And Bay probably doesn't like that call, but a really quality pitch, borderline low, but good frame job by Molina.
There's Mike Lowell. Singled his first time up. Count 1-0. People forget Mike Lowell actually started in the Yankee organization. But he ended up being traded to the Marlins for 3 pitchers. And has had a nice career. He came over to the Red Sox in the deal that brought Josh Beckett from the Marlins to the Red Sox. He was a throw-in. The Red Sox had to take him just to get rid of the salary for the Marlins. So he finished up that contract and got another one from them. He's been perfect. It's as if his swing was made for Fenway Park. He won the World Series MVP in 07. Look at the year he had in 07.
Well, really a guy when the Red Sox were pursuing Mark Teixeira in the offseason was almost, not forgotten about, but a guy that really wasn't planned on this year. And he's really come out swinging the bat well after offseason hip surgery.
You know, that's kind of a deal with the Marlins that the Red Sox made for Lowell and Beckett. Now, we all know it's worked out very well for the Red Sox, but it's worked out for the Marlins as well. They got Hanley Ramirez, who at the time was a highly touted prospect and has gone on to be an MVP candidate in the National League. So it's not as if the Marlins didn't get anything in that deal.
Well, they got salary relief, which is what they wanted, and they got themselves a guy who could be a shortstop or maybe transfer to the outfield for the next 10 years. 2-2.
And they also got a player who might lead them into their new stadium. And, you know, Marlins finally getting that passed, and after years of fighting to get a new stadium. I think it's supposed to be ready in 2012, I believe.
Runner goes. 3-2 is grounded to Pena. And Java Chamberlain works a scoreless third. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. 4-0 Red Sox. Kind of a cold, dank sort of a day here in New York City as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Time for the Toyota text poll. Tonight's question is, since Mickey Mantle, who's the best switch hitter to play for the Yankees? Text your vote to 58772. We'll give you the choices in a moment. Pitch to Molina is high. Jorge Posada, number 1. Number 2, Roy White. Number 3, Bernie Williams. And number 4, very popular player, Other. Only went by one name, like Cher. Ichiro, Other. Pitch outside.
Otto, Other, right? Double O.
Doesn't
Otto.
use Otto, though. It just goes by Other.
Other.
On the Modell's scoreboard, it's 4-0 Red Sox, and Modell's, of course, is the official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees.
Now, as far as going back to Mickey Mantle. Of course, they didn't want Mickey's going to win the vote. You know, he can do it all. Hit for average, hit for power. Amazing power.
Did you have a girlfriend named Other one time, Michael?
No, he had another girlfriend. While he was going with Other.
Just continue to throw dirt on me.
Yeah.
Molina becomes a very important player for the Yankees now. If you joined us late, Jorge Posada is on the DL with a hamstring problem, and manager Joe Girardi says he's going to be out anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. The DL stint itself is 15 days, so that's 1 day over 2 weeks, and probably going to be about a 3-week injury. Molina dunks one into center field. Coming on is Ellsbury, who can't make the play. So Molina gets himself on with a bloop single to center.
Oh, he talked about Ellsbury playing shallow, but not shallow enough. This is off the end of the bat. And watch him come on. He's got tremendous speed. Almost makes a heck of a play here. The ball hits off of his glove. He scrambles to come up with it. The whole Molina to a single. Jacoby Ellsbury. Oh, right off the fingers of his glove. And I think the wind helped knock that one down. Couldn't make the play in center field, so it's a leadoff single.
Here's Derek Jeter. Derek flew out to right field in the first inning. Base hit to right field. A Jeterian swing as he moves Molina to second.
A faster runner might have been at third, but with the Molina leading off, there's a pitch. That's down the middle. That's the type of pitch you can do anything you want with. Of course, Jeter's patented hit is this one right through the hole with a runner at first. And J.D. Drew gets it back in. This is a belt high. Maybe a little lower, thigh high for a base hit. And there's that classic swing that Michael was talking about.
We've seen Jeter a lot more aggressive early in the count. As you see Johnny Damon 1-for-1 on the night. He's really jumping on some first pitch fastballs. Josh Beckett trying to get ahead. Jeter's ready for it.
We figured that maybe the Yankee hitters figure that Beckett with a 4-run lead, just get ahead on the counts.
And the pitch. Driven deep to right field. 4-3 Red Sox. See ya. A bullet. 3-run home run for Johnny Damon.
Well, there's two theories. Either you try and wait a pitcher out who has the lead, but if that first pitch is the best one you're going to get, I mean, this is right there, too. And David doesn't miss it. This is hit better than what he hit last night. This is a rocket into the second deck in right field. No doubt about it. And the Yankees are right back into the game.
And the pitch to Teixeira is a strike.
And as I think it was Michael or David said earlier, Beckett's been giving up home runs this year.
See, he's got some movement on his fastball, but he's trying to hit the corners. It's running back to the middle. Goes to 2 straight curveballs here to Teixeira to mix it up.
Damon likes hitting Beckett. 7 for his last 12 and 2 of the 7 home runs.
Right there to be hit hard.
Inside, 1-2.
Johnny Damon's starting to wear out that second deck down the right field line. You know, seeing in the old Yankee Stadium, it used to be the upper deck shots. I don't know if we're going to see too many upper deck shots here, but that second deck is almost like the old upper deck, as you see Teixeira there with another off-speed pitch out in front.
Well, last night he hit a couple of home runs out of the ballpark, and the Red Sox are making an adjustment. Now it's up to him to make the adjustment. Off-speed breaking ball, kind of the same pitch he struck out on the first time up.
Straight down with the break, good depth. Looks like a fastball down the middle and just goes straight down.
Yeah, you might not see one in the upper deck here. You have to bring back Mickey Mantle.
Picks Matsui's outside.
Here's a look at that. That's a long way.
And the reason that it's going to be improbable to see an upper deck home run is that the upper deck is reset. And in the old ballpark, the upper deck kind of hung over the field. Not so much like Detroit, but it was right up against the wall. If you dropped the line down, it would probably go up against the wall. And the Red Sox were raving about this ballpark yesterday, but they said they did appreciate one fact, that the upper deck was not hanging over you, because that was a big, home field advantage that they felt, that they always had a battle when they came into the old place. But they couldn't stop raving about this place. They said it was great in every single way.
Did they think that the Green Monster in Boston was a home field advantage for them?
Yeah.
All right.
The 2-1. 2-2. Beckett does not betray his emotions with his facial expression. He doesn't have a facial expression when he's on the mound. Very calm. That one's popped up. Left field line. Long run for everybody, and no one's going to get it. Foul ball.
Might have been interesting to see if that ball fell fair and it had actually stayed in the field of play, because Matsui had gotten all the way to second. There was nobody at third. At that point, it's up to the pitcher to get over to third base.
Beckett came into this game for a career. He had a 91-64 career record coming into this game. 50-30 as a Red Sox.
2-2. Punched out toward left field. And Mike Lowell makes the play. What a play by Lowell. Took a base hit away from Matsui. That is an outstanding play by Mike Lowell.
Well, you know, we talked about Mike Lowell and maybe losing some mobility because of the hip surgery, but this is terrific. Great read, great first jump, right over the shoulder. And you see here with the IO super shot, Mike Lowell's got it the whole way, but that's a factor of a good first step, getting a good jump. Just a terrific play over the shoulder.
Here's Cano. Low, 1-0. Robinson popped up to second in the first. He's 4 for his last 18. Take another look at Lowell's play. Quick jump. Like a wide receiver going toward the corner of the end zone. There's a breaking ball strike. Actually, a hanging breaking ball. You know, David talked about how Lowell would have been affected if the Red Sox signed Teixeira. He would have been affected as if traded, because what they were going to do was they obviously going to put Teixeira at first, and they were going to move Youkilis over to third, and there was no room at all for Mike Lowell. Obviously, your DH spot is clogged up with the Red Sox with David Ortiz, and they were going to have him play in spring training, show that the hip surgery went well, and then they were going to trade him. But Teixeira decided to sign with the Yankees. The 1-2.
And then Lowell, though, in spring training wasn't quite ready to assume an everyday position and then be tradable. But this is Lowell making some good plays up at Fenway Park. Well, it's robbing somebody of an extra base hit, and then Jeter to the left, and then previously to his right to make the play. And tonight, over the shoulder.
the way Lowell's come back from hip surgery, it bodes well for A-Rod, who had 2 home runs today in an extended spring training game. Lowell won the 05 Gold Glove at third base. Now, A-Rod, after his game today, said he doesn't really know what the plans are, but the big whisper is that Alex is going to return sometime this weekend in Baltimore, if not Friday in Baltimore. So we'll see if there are no setbacks, if that is in fact the case. 3-2.
Why not have him come to a park that he likes to hit in? He's hit more home runs there than any other visiting player.
You know, I think a lot of it is going to be up to the player himself. You know, I mean, obviously you look at the numbers and what A-Rod's done, but you know, a lot of this is going to determine on what he says. If he says he's ready, I'm ready to go, then that's going to hold a lot of weight. Certainly the Yankees want to be sure and hold him back, make sure he's healthy, but the final determination is going to be, hey, A-Rod, how do you feel? Are you ready?
If you're hitting 2 home runs a day, don't you think you feel pretty good?
Hit shortly. Oh, what a play by Lowell. The glove side, short hop. He took a base hit away from Cano. So Mike Lowell flashing the leather, but not before the Yankees get back in the game. One swing. Is a switch hitter. I bet you know this, Kenny. You know everything about switch hitters.
No, well, I think we already mentioned his name tonight. I'll keep it quiet for now.
And there's a strike to J.D. Drew. 4-3, Red Sox lead the Yankees. So Jabba now has a renewed vigor because the Yankees are right back in the game at 4-3. Count 0-2. Johnny Damon, one swing, turned the game from 4-0 to 4-3. Strike 3. Drew down looking. 5 strikeouts for Jabba.
One of the advantages of giving up 4 runs in the first inning, as you said, Singy, it gives you time to really get back into a groove. And I tell you what, I've seen Jabba throw more changeups tonight already in these first 4 innings than I've ever seen him throw in his career. And a really good one there for a called third strike.
There's a strike. And 4 of Chamberlain's strikeouts, 4 of his 5 have been looking. Weak hack there by Jeff Bailey. There's a big difference between Jeff Bailey and Kevin Youkilis. Now, Jeff Bailey, was the International League's most valuable player last year, but Kevin Youkilis is one of the best players in baseball. Strike 3. Another window shopping strikeout.
Yeah, it's like a wake-up call came for Job in the second inning. That's well spotted. Good job of receiving the baseball. You notice how quiet Jose Molina is behind him. He wants his call, even though it might have been a little outside. A little flex of the glove back towards the corner. And that pitchers really appreciate that.
You could see him catch that ball in the web, too, so there wasn't a lot of movement. There was a little movement with this glove, but he held that glove there pretty well and caught that ball in the web to make it look better than it was.
Pitch to Varitek, misses outside, 1-0.
Was there a catcher you work with that you felt was very good at framing pitches?
Well, early in my career, Gary Carter was excellent at those outside corners right there. That particular pitch of really just holding the glove there.
They always say that you really have to have strong hands to do that. The pitch doesn't move the glove.
You do. You watch him receive this ball. Watch him catch that ball in the web. You can see that web pop back. There was a little movement in that glove, but not as much as there could have been. That's a really good frame job.
And he's gone 3-0 on Varitek.
The thing about Job, and what we've seen the last couple of innings, when he was in the 8th inning in that role, he was predominantly a 2-pitch pitcher, and everybody said, well, he's got 4 pitches. Well, tonight we're seeing it. He's thrown some outstanding changeups, and I've been waiting to see his changeup. As you see, 6 strikeouts tonight, ties his season high. Been waiting to see that changeup, and I've seen him throw on the side, and he's got a good one. He's also got a good curveball, and we've seen some of those tonight, too, and he's really getting into a good pitching mode now.
And Varitek works a walk with 2 outs. Hey, Yankee fans, go to MetLife.com/Yankees for your chance to present the MetLife Player of the Month Award on the field at Yankee Stadium. Simply visit MetLife.com/Yankees for official rules. There's no purchase necessary, void where prohibited, and sweepstakes sponsor is Metropolitan Life Insurance Company. Nick Green swings and misses. 94-mile-an-hour fastball by Java. The 0-2 upstairs, and that's where Molina wanted it. Didn't miss the target. Molina was standing up.
It's like Java's been 2 different pitchers. The first inning Java, and then the second, third, and fourth inning Java have been outstanding as opposed to the first inning.
You see Java shake off Molina 3 times to get to this hook he wants to throw.
And that shows he has 4 pitches.
Sometimes when you're shaking off and a hitter standing at the plate, the hitter feels that he's going back to the first pitch, because how many pitches do you have? You start shaking and shaking and shaking, and you figure they're just trying to, fake me out here and go back to the fastball.
Swing and a miss. High fastball. Chamberlain strikes out the side. A new season high in 2009 for Java. He gets J.D. Drew looking. Line quiz answer. Let's look at the question. Mark Teixeira has 208 career home runs. Who has the most career home runs as a switch hitter? Well, the answer is that man, Mickey Mantle. 536 home runs.
I saw a lot of them on TV back in the day.
On WPIX.
Channel.
It's a great caption on that monument. A great teammate, the first thing you see. It tells you a lot about Mickey Mantle and what his teammates felt about him. Of all the things you could write on a Mickey Mantle plaque, a great teammate really, to me, resonates.
Jonathan Van Every has taken over in center field for Jacoby Ellsbury, so maybe Ellsbury's attempt at the diving play on Molina's blooper, maybe that shook him up. So Van Every in there. And they say that Ellsbury left with a tight right hamstring. You know, this weather isn't great for muscles. You will pull muscles in weather like this.
It is, and it's not optimal pitching weather. You know, we saw Jabba Chamberlain struggle in the first inning, 5 straight hits to start out the game, and you know, he's progressively gotten better. His velocity's gotten better as the innings have worn on.
Strike 3, Swisher down looking.
After last inning, Josh Beckett now finds himself in a ball game. No more 4-run cushion, just 1 run. Well, he's going to have to bear down.
Here's Cabrera. Oh, he almost did the old Butcher Boy. Show bunt and then chop, but he ended up taking a strike. Casey Stengel would call it that, the old Butcher Boy. Line drive. Base hit down the right field line. Goes into the corner. Played out there by Drew. Melky round second. He's going for 3. Here's the throw. Here's the play. He's out. So Melky thinking one more base when he got around second. And a perfect relay by the Red Sox to nail him.
Well, putting the pressure on the Red Sox to make 2 good throws. There's the leap by Bailey. Can't come up with it. J.D. Drew, let's see how he handles the corner here. Not too badly. Bare hands it. That saves a little time. Throws it to Pedroia. And then the throw to third to Lowell. And it's right there. And the call is made by Jerry Meals, the third base umpire. Not a bad idea by Melky to try for third with 1 out. To get over there where a fly ball could score him, and he would be the tying run. But the Red Sox had to execute, and they did well defensively on that play.
Yeah, I got no problem with this, Singy. I mean, Melky, an aggressive, exciting player, really pushes it. As you said, it took just a perfect 2 relays from Drew to Pedroia to Lowell.
A good tag by Lowell as well. He had to come across the bag to get Melky.
Grounded toward first. Off the glove of Bailey. And it trickles behind him down the right field line. Pena will go to second.
Pena automatically would have been safe at second anyway because the first baseman Bailey was in his way and interfered with him going to second base. So this is going to be a double, but he would have got awarded second base anyway. As you watch him turn, Bailey's going to, well, it's going to be an error, first of all. But he would have been awarded second base anyway. See, Bailey's trying to get out of his way, and there's the contact. And immediately, first base umpire James Hoy said, "You're going to be awarded second base no matter if you're thrown out or not," impeding his ability to go to the next base. You can see Mick Kelleher, the first base coach, waving him on to go to second, and there's the contact.
How about that? You boot the ball and get a shove in the back.
And there is James Hoy with the call.
Amazingly, there's no error up on the board yet.
Man.
We have seen some funky official scoring.
There it is.
There it is.
Right. Give me a bat. Just put it in play.
I mean, when you see something like that and the official score has to wait to see a replay, I mean, that's an error. That's nothing you have to see 4 times on a replay.
maybe he's looking to see if there was an erratic hop. Or could happen.
Not fast enough for you, Michael? Jumping the gun up here?
Come on, this is the MTV generation, Dave.
Instant.
The 0-1.
Okay.
Buzzed him inside.
There's a two-base error up on the scoreboard. You know, maybe this is, it's a brand new ballpark. Maybe they don't know where the button is for two-base error as of yet.
Everybody's making adjustments now.
Exactly.
Now Varitek wants to go out and talk with Beckett.
Well, take a look at the relay. And this actually saves time, picking the ball up barehanded instead of putting it in the glove and then having to take it out. There's the throw. Pedroia, an MVP, and a lot of that's defensive. Remember, he won a Gold Glove last year. There's the throw to Lowell, who makes a good tag, diving across the bag, and Melky is out. And I have to go back to J.D. Drew picking the ball up barehanded in the corner. It's just saved a split second, and that was the difference between Melky being out or safe at third base.
And Pedroia, too, having to leap and throwing it all the way on the fly. Man, what a quick, he had to jump up, get the ball, get it out of his glove, and he threw a bullet to third on the fly.
Count 1-2. Molina not in love with that call.
Well, yeah, you could see Demira. The catcher and an umpire have a very unique relationship, and that's a good pitch. If I'm on the mound, I want it.
Remember the plate, I don't want it to be called a strike. I mean, there's a run on second, there's a chance to tie the game here. There's a big difference between the count being 2-1 and 1-2.
Little cat and mouse game going on. Beckett really a long stare into Varitek, and Molina steps out. See the tape around Varitek's fingers so you could see the signs on a night game. 1-2. Missed outside. Jorge Posada sometimes puts on white nail polish so you can see his hands. 68 pitches for Beckett, 47 strikes. Bottom of the fourth inning, it's 4-3. Favor the Red Sox. Now, why is he going with tapping rather than the fingers there? I mean, he's obviously giving the signs by tapping.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, it's one of the more complicated sign givers in the game right there, Jason Varitek. And, it's hard to break that code. I mean, he's been doing that for the last several years. And, he gives down one sign, a 3 that last particular time, and then several taps. And well, that'd be a hard code to break.
The launch code.
There he goes through it again. And also showing a lot of respect to a rookie at second base. I mean, you're going through a lot of subterfuge there, and you really think Ramiro Pena is stealing signs?
Doesn't matter. You got to stay with your same code no matter who's on second base. I mean, it's not as if you're going to switch it from depending on who's the base runner. It doesn't matter. I mean, this is what you go through before the game. This is the sequence of signs that they're accustomed to.
Remember, Pena's a middle infielder by trade, so he knows what the signs look like.
But if you looked at that replay, Pena wasn't even looking at Varitek when he was giving the signs. He was checking the outfielder. So the count is now 3-2. And Beckett does not want to lose Molina because Jeter's on deck. This is the 8th pitch of the at-bat upcoming.
Staring him down, isn't he?
And that's one of the problems, Michael, right there is, when you go through that kind of a sequence with Varitek, with all of those taps, if Beckett doesn't want that pitch, now you got to start all over, and it slows down the process. So Varitek, as we said, very much of a leader. Most of the time pitchers are going with him, but Josh Beckett likes to call his own game and really slow down the process.
3-2. Swung on and missed. Got him on a tight breaking ball for the final out of the fourth. No runs, a hit, one error, and one man left. Big defensive play for the Red Sox. Melky Cabrera doubles. Fifth inning, and it's 4-3 Red Sox. Speaking of the Rays, they will be here tomorrow for a small little 2-game set tomorrow on Thursday night, and then the Yankees go on the road 3 games against the O's in Baltimore. 71 pitches for Jabba over the first 4 as we head to the 5th and the top of the order, and Jonathan Van Every will lead off rather than Jacoby Ellsbury. Van Every took over for Ellsbury, who has a tight right hamstring.
That one home run for Van Every was a game winner in Cleveland against the Indians in a kind of a wide open offensive game, and he came up late in the ball game and hit a homer.
Right before he got called up from Pawtucket, he hit a walk-off grand slam, and then got called in the manager's office and said, "You're going to Boston." So that was a pretty good hour, I'd say, in his life. The 1-1 from Chamberlain. There's a strike, 1-2.
And that home run, by the way, was his first major league homer.
Talked about Jabba Chamberlain giving up 5 straight hits to start out this game and 4 runs in the first. His pitch count's still decent. 75 pitches. Still got a chance to get a couple more innings, get a little deeper into this game. Still has a chance to put him in a position for the Yankees to come back and either tie it or go ahead. 76 pitch right there. His strikes to balls ratio has got significantly better since the first inning.
Strike 3, another strikeout looking. Strikeout number 8 for Jabba. And he has struck out 8 of the last 12 hitters he's faced. Let's take a look.
You see Jabba here just painting the outside corner with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. There's a high 3-2 slider, gets it. Good changeup to Ortiz. Another good slider. Molina gets that one. Another changeup. Fastball away. Good frame job again. High heat. See, Jaba's velocity's been back up since the first inning. He's up to 94 miles an hour. He's mixed in a lot of good changeups, good hooks. See that backup, kind of almost a backup slider.
I think as long as he's still on an innings limit, there's always going to be that debate about Jaba Chamberlain, starter, reliever, starter, reliever. It seems like the majority of fans believe that he should be a reliever. But Elias dug out this stat, which I think is really interesting. Coming into tonight's game in 16 starts, Jaba has a 2.85 ERA as a starter and a 4-1 record. So a lot of no decisions in there, but a 2.85 ERA, which is very, very good. So what they did is they went back to June 3rd of last year when he made his first start. And they took all pitchers that have started at least 15 games. And Jaba Chamberlain has the 6th best ERA in baseball over that time as a starter. And you look at the guys that are ahead of him, all legitimate, outstanding starters. So you understand why the Yankees want to make him a starter. You understand when David talked about those 4 quality pitches, and if he threw them all, he could be a very good starter.
Yeah, the thing about it, too, you talk about all the no decisions. In those no decisions, in many of them, he was working to get his pitch count up, but the Yankees were taking him out of games early to get him into the starter's mode last year.
Well, it's interesting, you know, Michael, and the thing I see too with Jaba, you know, I was a proponent of at least trying to see if he could be a starter. It's what he wants to do. Starting was in his heart. I talked to both him and his father about it last year. It's certainly where he wants to be. And you look at a right-handed pitcher, you look at how they go against lefties, how they go against righties, and for his career, right-handed batters are hitting 224 off of him, and the left-handed batters are hitting 225 off of him.
That was close.
Jaba thought it was strike 3.
Get a look here. Jaba's got that late breaking slider. Even when it's up, you could see. Boy, I thought it was a foul tip. You see Molina's going to the other. See here, he's talking foul tip. He's thinking, you know, the ball, you know, possibly tipped off of Pedroia's bat. But even when his slider's up, it's quick. It breaks quickly, you know, and he can get out lefties and righties equally well.
Strike 3, another strikeout looking. He is dealing 9 strikeouts for Jaba. That ties his career high, which he's done 4 times.
You know, what we've seen tonight, Jaba was early in the game, he was throwing a lot of fastballs. Now his slider, his changeup, he's pitching. You know, and pitching very, very well, picking up all these strikeouts. As Michael said, 9 strikeouts, which ties his career high.
7 of the 9 looking. What does that tell you, David?
Well, it just tells you that his stuff is sharp and it's quick. It's late breaking. You know, Molina with another great frame job right there on a pitch that probably broke around the plate.
Who's David Ortiz?
You know, we talked about Molina catching the ball in his web on outside corners to righties. That one, he caught it almost in the heel of his glove to make it look better than it was. See, Pedroia just can't believe that pitch was called a strike.
Yankees have the shift on. Ramiro Pena on the second base side of the bag. Jeter stays over at short, and in short right field is Robinson Cano. And Jaba has been dominating now. He's struck out 9 of his last 13 batters.
Becoming a fan of Michael Kay.
Kays.
You know, we can debate all about, you know, Jaba, whether he's better off in the bullpen, as you said, Michael. A lot of Yankee fans feel that way, or his starter. You know, his numbers as a starter are very good as well. See another good changeup right there. Good action, good movement on his changeup. He's shown all 4 pitches tonight. Regardless of what happens, as you'll see this changeup. Good arm action. You see Ortiz is way out in front. It's got a little tail, a little fade to it as well.
Action tells me that Ortiz is still looking inside.
Crowd getting pumped. The 1-2. And again, Jaba turns his back on the umpire. He thought that was strike 3.
You can see his velocity's getting up too. This is the best fastball he's thrown all night, and he wants it just off the plate. 96 miles an hour with that pitch.
And the 2-2. Check swing. Did he go? Did he go? No, he did not, said the third base umpire, Jerry Meals.
Well, he's been all around his 10th strikeout here. Just didn't get the call on one pitch and didn't get the call on the check swing here. And that's pretty close, but I believe that Ortiz did hold up.
I might disagree with that.
Yeah, that's all right. It's just a pitcher and a hitter. We've got two different ways of going about things.
3-2. Check swing. And Ortiz walks.
See Jabba feeling now, really starting to go for strikeouts as we see the pitch by pitch here to Ortiz. Right there, gets ahead. Just down. Fastball's good changeup right there. Fastball just off. He's just missing here and there. Good slider down and in. Tries to do it again. Ortiz, to his credit, holds off.
You know what? It looked like he swung from that angle.
But to finish that point, Michael, even if it does come down to where Jabba ends up back in the bullpen, he will be better off for having had all these reps as a starter.
Ooh, Jason Bay gets plunked.
You can bet that that guy right there, Josh Beckett, is taking note. Certainly don't think there was any intention here on Jason Bay. You see Molina setting up away, and that ball just runs up and in. Molina wanted that fastball down and away. Jabba got underneath, flew open, and watch this ball just run up and in on Jason Bay. And that's just a case of a pitcher flying open.
You know, I heard a story years ago that Bob Gibson was on the mound. One of his St. Louis Cardinal teammates got hit. Let's go back to the first inning. Jason Bay has been a thorn in the Yankee side with a 3-run homer in the first. That made it 4-0. Well, as far as Bay getting hit right there, Bob Gibson started winding up. I forgot who the player was, what team, but he was the leadoff hitter next inning. As Gibson started to wind up the throw, the hitter started to yell. And Gibson hit him right in the back. He knew it was coming.
Jason Bay took a quick look out to the mound, but obviously he's not trying to move David Ortiz into scoring position with the Yankees down 4-3. Here's Mike Lowell. Breaking ball strike. Boy, he's got all of his pitches working.
You're speaking of hitting hitters with intent. Now, sometimes as a hitter, you know, the pitcher's concentrating on the target, which is usually the catcher's glove. But every once in a while, the pitcher winds up, he's looking straight at you. And that tells you that you are the target.
Slider, check swing. Did he go? No. Said James Hoy at first.
And you can see the Yankee benches all over James Hoy. Been a couple of questionable check swings there, and we'll get a look on the overhead camera right there. And I tell you what,
he did go.
Pretty good job of Mike Lowell changing his mind in the middle of that swing, but very close.
Ortiz is the first Red Sox runner to reach second since the first inning. So that's how Jabba has turned around his night. Looked like he was going to be knocked out in the first inning. Now his pitch total's getting up there. He's at 95. That's why Jose Veras is throwing out in right field.
It's one of the byproducts of all the strikeouts. You know, you got to get to 2 strikes. You generally throw more pitches when you have high strikeout games. Jabba's pitch count has certainly jumped up in a hurry this inning.
Grounded foul. And then you have a guy, a pitching coach in St. Louis, Dave Duncan, who's considered outstanding. He preaches, and you see the difference between the first inning and since then. He preaches to pitch to contact early in the count. This way you're in the game longer.
Well, you know, that's easier said than done. When you have stuff like Jabba has, you know, sometimes they're fouling them off. Sometimes your stuff as a power pitcher is so good that you can't get them to put it in play. They're going to foul it off. You're going to make quality strikes. And
they're going to swing and miss.
Nothing wrong with being a strikeout pitcher as well. Not everybody can pitch to contact.
I said the fans pay for power. They pay to see home run hitters and strikeout pitchers.
Strike 3. Jabba pumped up, strikes out the side. A career high for Chamberlain as he strikes out his 10th batter in 5 innings. Lowell down looking. An outstanding 5 innings for Jabba Chamberlain. 2 straight innings, Jabba strikes out the side. Lexus scoreboard 4-3 Red Sox. Bottom of the 5th. Count 1-1. Jabba, new career high, 10 strikeouts, 8 of them looking. You know what's funny when there's supposedly a secret innings limit on Jabba this year. The best we could guess, it's around 140, 150. So he's thrown how many pitches now? 97. There's a ground ball to short, and Jeter's out. Well, he pitched 5 innings and threw 97 pitches. So what if he was economical the next time out and he threw 8 innings and threw 97 pitches? Does it count the same? Or is it 5 innings? I mean, that's why it seems such an inexact science.
Very inexact. You know, Michael, I had many starts in my career where the first 50 pitches I threw were much more laborious than the last 50 I threw. And the last 50 probably took me up to 130 several times early in my career. There's a lot of variables involved. You can certainly understand that why the organization would want to protect Jabba Chamberlain. He's a valuable commodity for this organization. #1 draft, and not coincidentally, the Yankees find themselves with 2 #1 drafts in their rotation, which is pretty rare for organizations. With Phil Hughes also a #1 pick for the Yankees, and a lot of times those #1 picks don't work out.
The 1-0.
They let you throw 130 pitches?
I used to average about 130 pitches when I was with the Mets back in the 80s.
That's not going to happen anymore.
No, it's not going to happen. You certainly can understand there's a track record, especially with young pitchers before the age of 25, that if they do get up in their innings, that some of those guys have broken down over the last several years. A guy like Dwight Gooden, for instance, who threw 276 innings when he was 19 years old, ended up with shoulder problems. And the list goes on and on. There's several examples, as you see Josh Beckett's pitch count right there. So it's understandable why organizations would want to protect valuable commodities, and Jabba Chamberlain certainly is that for the Yankees.
Leading off the inning, I should say, with 1 out here for Johnny Damon and Teixeira on deck. You should get a pretty good pitch here from Beckett. Maybe one of those fastballs that just doesn't get quite far enough away from him.
7 for his last 12 against Beckett. And that's a line drive to right field. Caught there by Drew. So Damon hit it hard again. And there's 2 away. Hey, tonight after the post game, you have to check this out. It's right here on Yes. Yankees great Bernie Williams plays songs from his new album, The Concert Special, Bernie Williams Moving Forward. This intimate performance captures Bernie's recent appearance at the Nokia Theater in New York. Bernie Williams Moving Forward. It premieres tonight after the post game, and it's only on Yes. There's Mark Teixeira, who struck out twice against Beckett. And there's a strike. Tries to tie him up. And the count 1-1. Jerry Neal said he checked the swing.
See, Beckett's gotten Teixeira twice with curveballs down and out of the strike zone when he gets 2 strikes.
I'm always fascinated by the pitcher's thought process here. Now, if you strike him out on breaking balls twice, do you want to throw that breaking ball again, or do you start to think, now he's going to expect the breaking ball, so I'm going to try to sneak a fastball by him? How does the mind work?
Well, certainly you can outthink yourself on the mound sometimes out there, but you see Beckett just went to a curveball there, and see if he doubles up here on 1 and 2. But I think, you've got a couple pitches to play with here. I think, you might take a shot in.
And that's what he did there. A check swing, slow roller. And it's a base hit. The vagaries of baseball.
When you're a hitter that's been struggling and you get a hit like that, you can see he's trying not to smile. But those are the type of hits that you get when you're struggling as a hitter and you begin to think, maybe things are starting to go my way. Last night he hit a couple of home runs. Those are nice, but these are the hits that you don't expect to get. And you get one like this and you say, you know what? I can feel things turning around here. My average is getting up near 200. I'm getting off the interstates. It's time to start moving towards 300. Might take me a little while, but it's going to be a lot of fun getting there.
Here's Hideki Matsui. He's 1 for 2. (4-3) Red Sox lead the Yankees. Bottom of the 5th.
That's a guy who's still in this game, Michael, right there. He's still got his game face on. Going to run Jabba back out there for the 6th.
Now, I was watching Jabba between innings, and he's actually skipping in the dugout. There was a lightness to his step. And I think that he hasn't been having as much fun, but he obviously is locked in now, feels good about his stuff, feels good about what he's doing out there, and he actually was kind of hopping onto the dugout bench.
There's a definite buzz in the crowd tonight. I think it has a lot to do with the way Jabba's been pitching. A lot of energy here at the stadium tonight.
Career high 10 strikeouts. He had that one bad inning in the first when he gave up 4 runs, but has certainly bounced back. And he's thrown 97 pitches. And they'll probably take it batter to batter in the 6th inning. Pitch upstairs. Matsui's hitting .348 this season with 2 outs, and that's what we have right now. 2 outs and 1 on. Line drive, center field. Van Every back in dead center. He puts it away for the final out of the 5th for Beckett. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left with rain in the forecast. We should note that this is now an official game with 5 in the books, and the Red Sox lead the Yankees 4-3. By your tri-state area Audi dealers. Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. You got to get me in that Audi suite if I have a day off here at the stadium, David.
Could be arranged. We'll get down there.
All right. Looks like it could be fun. Here's J.D. Drew against Jabba. Jabba's last 6 outs all coming via the strikeout. 8 of his last 9 strikeouts. And the count 2-0. Now just rest assured that his leash is very, very short here in the 6th. They are not going to let him get that much over 100, and he's about to throw his 100th pitch right now. Jabba 99. And there's a strike. And Jose Veras continues to throw. And Joe Girardi looks out there with trepidation because it's no gimme when he goes to the bullpen what he's going to get. On a game-to-game basis, it changed. Or changes. Three-one. Strike. And the count full at 3-2 as Drew was trying to work a walk. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout against Java.
Drew usually has a pretty good eye. Maybe he thought that was just a hair outside, but it just caught a hint of the outside corner.
And the pitch. Strike 3. Another strikeout looking. The 11th strikeout for Chamberlain.
Well, quite a comeback from 3-1. Just dot the outside corner twice. You see that one's got more of the plate. J.D. Drew probably thought that one was a little up as opposed to the previous one, which he probably thought was a little out, but certainly too close to take.
Here's Jeff Bailey. And a strike. You see Jabba delivers the ball and then a quick back pedal. He's on the rubber ready to go. And there's the last strike 3.
Right at the belt, huh, Singy, from the side.
That's a strike. Ooh, nasty.
Whispering across the outside corner for a strike. 1-2.
See, there's a good point right there, Michael. You know, if he's trying to pitch to contact, how do you put that pitch into play? I mean, it broke so sharp and so late.
And the 1-2 to Bailey. Just got a piece. Well, you could read body language, and boy, is Jabba into this right now.
It's been quite a comeback after giving up 4 runs in the first inning to regroup, mix in all your pitches. The velocity has progressively gotten better. He's still retaining his stuff here in the 6th.
Swung on and missed. Strikeout number 12 for Chamberlain. His last 8 outs have been strikeouts. And boy, is Joe Girardi going to get booed.
Oh, my goodness. Got to do it.
And he signals to the bullpen. He's going to get Jabba a huge ovation. But he takes him out when he is dealing 8 straight strikeouts. And it's starting to rain at the stadium as well. 1 bad inning for Jabba, and this about as well as he has pitched. And he's going to get a huge ovation. Listen.
Right there on the outside corner. There's a good 3-2 slider. Good changeup. Another slider. Another changeup. Paint on the outside corner. High heat. Another backdoor slider. Front door slider. And another changeup. Fastball right there. I'm running out of gas counting these all season. Sliders, changeups, hooks. He's got it all working. I tell you what, it's got to be a little bittersweet. Boy, you would have liked to get one more out to get out of that 6th.
It adds up to 12. And I can see what the Yankees are doing. 106 pitches. 108 pitches tonight, and they're protecting his arm. And, you know, the crowd was all pumped. See all those strikeouts. But the first inning is the one that got him out of the game this inning. Because he threw so many pitches in the first inning, he wasn't able to get deeper into the ball game.
Well, he's thrown 114 is his career high, and there are Barris's numbers. He threw 100+ pitches 5 times last year, and as we mentioned, 114 is career high. And I'm sure Kimberly Jones will ask Joe Girardi why at that point, why with 2 outs in the 6th. So you have to stay tuned to the postgame for that.
He threw 23 pitches in the first inning, and that's getting into his rhythm. But after the first inning, he was definitely into the rhythm. And the crowd was getting into it too.
2-2 on Varitek.
You know, that's one of those, you know, Michael, you brought it up earlier. That's one of those things where you know, there's not an arbitrary pitch count where you say, you know, that we have to stop it right here. You watch how the pitcher's throwing. Is he in good control? Is he laboring? Are his mechanics smooth? Is he still throwing the ball with authority? And Jabba certainly, in my book, answered all those questions. I personally would have liked to see him with a chance to finish that inning.
Two-two. High fly ball, right field, shallow right, coming in as Swisher, looking into the rain, and he'll put it away for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. So Jabba Chamberlain goes 5 2/3, and Jose Barris gets the final out of the 6th. Yankees are trailing 4-3. Time now for a word from our friends at the Fox Business Network. Who's the best switch hitter to play for the Yankees? You've been texting to 58772, and here's how you voted. Bernie Williams, of course, at 53%. Then Jorge Posada second. Roy White, a very underrated player on the championship, 77 and 78 teams, and an other got 4%. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. Raining again here in New York. This is supposed to be April showers bring Mayflowers, but it doesn't seem like it's working out that way because it's Mayflowers as well. Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-3. Red Sox lead the Yankees. If you're wondering, hey, when's the last time a Yankee pitcher struck out 12 in a game? It was Mike Messina on May 7th of 2003.
That was against the Mariners.
Ground ball by Cano. Jeff Bailey fields and flips to Beckett, and there was one away. Now the Yankees have to get about the business of getting a couple more runs to try to win this game. There's Danny Cunningham, whose grounds crew has done a great job keeping this field in great shape despite all of the rain.
Danny Cunningham has been here a long time. They do a great job. You know, Michael, the other day, Danny Cunningham pulled out of his desk the rosin bag from My Perfect Game 10 years ago and presented it to me just the other day.
Wow.
He kept it all those years. There's Danny right there. All these years, Singy, he kept the rosin bag from that day. I didn't even think about it.
Well, he must have the ball from the last out.
Well, I've got plenty of the balls. Yeah, I mean, we went to the ball bag, the balls that are thrown out in the dugout. And I mean, I've got a couple of dozen of those rubbed up baseballs that were game used balls that I used.
Get a few of the bases and everything. You could recreate it.
Never thought about it back then.
Exactly.
You know? I use those baseballs for charity events here and there and break them out for auction items, but now I have a rosin bag.
Yeah.
You put that right next to the big pool table in the house, and you can use it too. A rosin right on the cue stick.
It's a little crusty after 10 years, though. And makes it more authentic, though.
Wasn't hermetically sealed?
It was in his desk for 10 years.
Dale Scott is the crew chief now. He's well aware of how hard it's beginning to rain here at the stadium, and you know the Dan Cunningham and his crew might be out here in between innings, putting that diamond dust onto the field. Oh, good swing! Oh, man, those are the kind you want back as a hitter. You figure I'm not going to get a pitch like this for the rest of the night. It was just a little too high.
Kind of the way you want to take a 3-1 swing, though, huh, Singy? Getting a fastball count right there. That's the way you like to see a hack go.
Swisher still looking for his first stadium home run. All 7 have been on the road. Off-speed pitch. Swisher got out of there quickly, as if Mike DeMuro is going to change his mind, so he works a walk.
You know what happened on the 3-1 swing? He had a good swing at a fastball, and that got Beckett away from a 3-2 fastball. And he decided to throw him a breaking ball, and he didn't throw it for a strike. So the tying runner's on base. The good swing by Swisher, 3-1, and Beckett said, I better stay away from that. Or maybe he didn't say it, but Veritek did.
Beckett's pitch count running up there, too. As you see, Melky's 2 for 2 on the night, single and a double. Beckett's got 95 pitches, and you're going to see probably a little stirring in the Red Sox bullpen about this time.
And a strike. And Hideki Okajima begins to throw. Red Sox with 4 in the first, Yankees with 3 in the third. That's the scoring in the game. We're in the bottom of the 6th.
There's your classic stare in by a pitcher. Thought he should have had it.
Nalgi, good numbers against Beckett. 11 for 32. That's 344.
That's the problem you're going to find right there. As you see Beckett sort of clearing his spikes on that little rake, portable rake. And you can see that's when it starts clumping up on your spikes. That's when it gets dangerous, when you try to land.
Squibb down the left field line, and it is a fair ball and bounces into the seats. Yankees get a tough break there. If it goes off the wall and bounces back to Bay, Swisher might have scored the tying run.
Hey, David, you were right, because when Beckett delivered that pitch, he actually slipped when he threw it. And Melky, you mentioned the good numbers. Michael mentioned the good numbers against Beckett. It's like he's got nothing from Melky. And there are pitchers that kind of throw your speed. And you're right, Michael. This ball bounces around in the corner. You get Swisher. There's the slip. It was.
Oh, almost that's how you can tear a groin muscle, or you get a little hamstring right there. You see Beckett sliding almost 6 inches when he tried to land. Almost jerked that pitch over the middle. He's trying to go down and away and left it down and in. Melky inside outed it for ground rules double.
We were talking about last night, David, how you pitched well against Mark McGwire. Now, were there some guys who, on the other end of the spectrum, that you had problems getting out?
Yeah, several. You know, usually guys like you, Singy, that wouldn't swing at that stuff I was throwing on the plate and in the dirt. And see Danny Cunningham there really keying off of the umpires at this point. It's really up to the umpires to make a call on when to put the tarp on, depending on how hard the rain is or whether Josh Beckett's going to need some diamond dry. I'm a little surprised that Josh Beckett did not call out the grounds crew to give him a little diamond dry on that mound, especially after he just slipped.
I don't think I ever hit against you, Dave. Did you in spring training maybe once?
Maybe once in spring training towards the end of your career. That was a young Royal.
You might have been able to rake him.
That was an old tired Oriole in those days.
Tony Gwynn was really tough.
Oh,
his prime through the National League. He just sometimes with guys like that can hit the ball both ways, you almost throw it down the middle, and he almost didn't know what to do with it sometimes, Singy. Those great hitters that have good plate coverage, if the ball's in, they turn on it. It's away, they hit it away. Josh Beckett finds himself right now, 0-2 count. Or rather, I'm sorry, 1-0 count.
Now 2-0.
You know, they had a long discussion with Pena coming to the plate. John Farrell, the pitching coach, was out on the mound. And I know that Pena's a rookie, but he's been pretty good in these situations.
3 for 5 with runners in scoring position. And now the umpires want some of that drying agent put on the mound because Beckett is getting a little bit concerned about the mound's condition.
Yeah, really surprised he waited, as I said before. You know, all it takes for me, Singy, is one slip. One slip and the mud clumping up on your spikes. You see how hard that clay is underneath. But it could get really slippery on the top layer when obviously it gets wet from the rain, which is accelerated to this point, this inning.
You can see they've done this before.
Hey, tomorrow night on Yes, the Yankees continue their homestand as they kick off a 2-game set with the Rays. Now the coverage is going to start at 6 with batting practice today presented by Audi, and then the pregame. Then David Cohn, Ken Sickle, and I are back again. We have the call from the booth. Rays Yankees tomorrow starting at 6 only on Yes. So they put the drying agent out there, and as I always like to say, let's hope it soaks up more than 5% like most agents. Hey, it's break time. Time for a fresh brewed cup of coffee. At Yes, we get our Green Mountain K-Cup coffee system from the same people who bring us our office supplies. W.B. Mason, who but? Looks like they got the mound straightened out. Now, honestly, David, does that do anything by putting the drying agent on? It's still wet underneath, isn't it?
Well, you saw him scrape off the top layer of mud. It's really about the clumps that build up in your spikes. And once that clay gets, you see them empty out the little portable rake. But once that clay gets built up in your spikes, that's what causes you to slip. So once it gets clumpy, you saw Danny Cunningham come out and rake off that top layer of all that clumpiness. And then it's just a hard layer of clay, and then the diamond dry will soak up any other moisture. So yes, it does help, Michael.
Now, does this little layoff affect Pena or Beckett?
Well, I think at this point it's got to help Beckett regroup. You know, he's got a 2-0 count. He's fallen behind here. We saw him slip on the pitch to Melky. It ended up a double down the left field line. Now he's got a chance to regroup, get his spikes cleared. You got a 2-0 count. You got a young hitter. Pena's been swinging the bat well. key point in the ballgame right here. Beckett knows it with his pitch count at 100. Saw Okajima backing him up in the bullpen.
A ground ball to short or second ties the game. At the corners, different story. They're in. The 2-0. Right in on the hands and fouled away. Now, there are several options. You don't want to walk a guy like Ramiro Pena, a rookie, although he has decent numbers early on. But if you do, it might not be the worst thing in the world because Jose Molina is a candidate to hit into a double play.
Well, that's a good point, Michael. As you saw there on a 2-0 count, he threw a rookie hitter a breaking ball down and in.
Which probably was ball 3.
The 2-1. Wow. Must have just clipped the outside corner. 2-2.
See Varitek kind of setting up middle end. He's got to reach over there on the outside corner. Pretty close.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that Varitek was setting up almost middle end and he had to reach over to the outside corner, it still was a very close pitch. Probably got the corner.
2-2. Swung on and missed. Well, he chased out of the strike zone, the youngster did, and goes down on strikes.
Here's that fastball he'd been looking for the whole at bat, and Beckett teased him with it. I don't think it's designed to be a strike. Off the plate, see if he would chase it. Being overly aggressive. He's not going to let him throw a fastball by him, but actually this one too far for way out of the strike zone for him to actually make contact. You can see up and away, well out of the strike zone, almost into the right-handed batter's box, and that was thrown by design. See if he would chase it.
And here's the veteran Molina, who's 1 for 2 tonight. And now Varitek wants to go out with Beckett. Boy, Varitek goes out to the mound a lot. More than most catchers. That's why Red Sox games take a long time. Number one, their hitters always take pitches, work the count. And there's a constant walkway between the pitcher's mound and home plate with Varitek. Inside.
The situation here with Jeter on deck, this is the hitter that you want. Seeing if you're on the mound right now, even though you're down 1-0, this is the guy you want to go get.
Ground ball left side, backhanded by Green. Off balance throw. And Molina is tagged out by Bailey as Beckett works out of a second and third 1-out jam and keeps the lead. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Nice play by Nick Green. Molina does not have great speed. Bailey comes off the bag and tags him out. We go to the Well, that all adds up to Red Sox 4, Yankees 3, and probably the most exciting starting night for Jabba Chamberlain as he strikes out 12 in 5 2/3. But so far he's been outdueled by Josh Beckett. Beckett's made one mistake. He served up a 3-run home run to Johnny Damon in the third inning. Jabba Chamberlain gave up the 4 runs in the first, but settled down to have his best start, at least domination-wise. He had outdueled Josh Beckett last year in a start, 1-0. But today was very, very dramatic. And at the close of this series against the Red Sox, join Bob Lorenz and John Flaherty for the W.B. Mason postgame as they recap all the highlights from this game and take a look around baseball. Plus, Kimberly Jones takes the team, talks to the team in the clubhouse. It's the W.B. Mason postgame only on Yes. Boy, that was easy to say. Anyway, it's going to be Kim Jones working the clubhouse and Bob and John back in the studio. W.B. Mason postgame there, I said it. Here we go to the 7th inning. Jose Barris on the mound, and Nick Green pops it up. Molina, 1 out. They'd love to get a good outing out of Barris, but he's only going to face 2 batters as Joe Girardi now starts to mix and match with Jonathan Van Every coming up to the plate. So he takes the ball from Barris, who got Varitek for the final out of the 6th, and Nick Green for the first out of the 7th. And he departs, and we will just duck out for just a moment as Phil Koch comes in. Koch against Van. Delivered. And those are Phil Koch's numbers. You'll see Phil Koch pitching in a lot of important innings because I think he might be Girardi's most trusted reliever at this point other than Mariano Rivera. Koch has had 8 consecutive scoreless outings, 6 1/3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk during that time. Here is a Van Every. First pitch is hit deep to center field. Melky Cabrera has room. 2 outs. So 2 pitches, 2 outs for the Yankees. And the one thing the Yankees really like about Koch is that he's not just a matchup lefty specialist. He can get out righties. He's got the stuff to get out righties. So you can pitch him in the 8th inning no matter who's coming up. Right now he's pitching here in the 7th.
And if he gets Pedroia out here, he'll probably face Ortiz next inning.
Count 1-0. And a strike. 1-1. keeps working the outside corner on Pedroia, and the count 2-1. Koch against left-handers in his career. Lefties hit 174 against him. Right-handers hit 175 against him. And that's grounded inside first and down the right field line up the bat of the pesky Pedroia. He will go to second. Digging it out there is Swisher. And Pedroia stops with a 2-out double.
His third hit of the night.
See Molina set up away. Ball's off the plate, but up above the belt to Pedroia. And you see that plate coverage. And he does just hit the ball where it's pitched.
I don't know if that's a strike or not.
Probably not a strike, but Pedroia is that type of a hitter. He hits the ball all over the park.
You mentioned he was hot, Coney. 14 of his last 18 games has had at least one hit.
Here's David Ortiz. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. Strike on the outside corner, along with David Cone and Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay, and you are watching Yankees baseball right here on Yes. We thank you for spending part of your Tuesday evening with us. And the Red Sox lead the Yankees 4-3 here in the top of the 7th. Ortiz has faced Koch twice, hitless. Jonathan Albaladeo heating up for the Yanks. One and two.
Now he's really got him set up for that breaking ball away. That last heater inside.
Good plate coverage by Ortiz.
It's a much better mix. We saw, obviously, Phil Hughes last night try to pound him in consecutively with pitches, just continually stay in. Much better mix to Ortiz the last couple of at-bats. Going away, throwing some sliders. Now they want to talk about it a little bit. A veteran hitter like Ortiz, even if he has lost some bat speed, which is still remains to be seen, it's only April. Can't just stay in. As you said, so apropos last night, saying he is a veteran hitter. He's going to look in there. He's going to cheat. He's going to get to that pitch no matter what kind of bat speed he has. You still have to pitch. You still have to mix it up. Be interesting to see if they do go slider right here.
One, two. Foul back.
And they did, and it was up, and he had a pretty good swing at it.
Yeah, that was not the well located. And sometimes when Big Poppy's hot, you don't get that one back. It's up. Oh, he had a good rip out of that.
Grounded up the middle. Cano right there. And Koch comes on and does the job. And he is barking and pumped up. But the Yankee offense needs to be the same. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one man left. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretch, but we stay right here to honor America.
She sings God Bless America.
Rainy Stadium. It's a good game. It's 4-3 Red Sox lead. All the scoring done in 2 half innings, and a breaking ball by Beckett starts off Jeter with a strike. Count 0-2.
See Beckett's numbers, outstanding strike to ball ratio. 71 strikes out of 107 pitches.
And the 0-2. And there's a single to center field off the bat of Jeter. So the tying runner's on base to start the bottom of the 7th inning.
Kind of a hanger on an 0-2 pitch. Certainly not where he wanted it. Maybe he wanted to tease Jeter, trying to get him to chase a pitch out of the zone. Didn't get far enough away. Yeah, that one's a good piece of hitting, too. It looked like it might have broken out of the strike zone, but Derek will go down and dig it out and lace it into center field for a base hit. Now, one reason why Beckett's in this game is more of a veteran pitcher, or still in this game, and one reason why the Yankees got Job out of there, because he's a young pitcher. They want to protect his arm. And but this is going to be it, I believe, as the Red Sox bullpen is going. You got a lefty out there and a lefty coming to the plate.
So Beckett's cutoff point looks like it's the same cutoff point as Job. I believe Job threw 108 pitches. That's what Beckett's at right now. Over drive of the game, Kenny. Which one is the drive of the game?
Well, let's go back to the 3rd inning. The Yankees had a couple of singles in front of Johnny Damon. Puts the Yankees right back in the ball game with a Land Rover drive of the game into the 2nd deck in right field. Damon's 6th home run of the season, and that made it a 4-3 game, and that's where we stand right now.
So Josh Beckett now a spectator. 6+ innings, 10 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. And they keep Jeter close. Okajima's numbers. Out of the gate, the Red Sox bullpen wasn't great, but of late, it's been outstanding. An ERA in the low 2s. Check swing popped up. Caught by Varitek. That is not how Damon wanted to approach that at bat. 1 away.
Damon got a lot of good swings off of Josh Beckett. This was not a good swing. He's trying to check it. Certainly doesn't want to make contact. one of those pitches you'd love to have back.
In 17 games beginning April 14th, the Red Sox bullpen a 2.31 ERA. And overall, the Red Sox relievers are third in the majors behind Oakland at 2.75 and Seattle at 2.95. Here's Mark Teixeira. And a strike.
It's a good matchup. I think Teixeira should get a good look off of Okajima here. He's 2 for 3 lifetime.
He's also got one of those key at-bats going. He wants to stay move over the 200 mark. Get off the interstates.
We got Matsui on deck, obviously another lefty. This is the matchup the Yankees want right here. And then you've got Manny Del Carmen ready just in case. Hard-throwing right-handed reliever. But right here's the matchup, the key. This is what the Yankees want. You got Teixeira, the switch hitter, against Okajima, the lefty.
Foul back.
Kind of the way it's gone, Singy. You said it before. He takes the first pitch down the middle and then swings at the ball up and out of the zone. And it's kind of what happens, I guess, right? When you're a hitter and you're trying to get it going. Although he did have a couple home runs last night. There was a good swing there, but certainly chased a pitch up and out of the zone there. Now he's down 0-2.
Yeah, but both home runs last night came on the first pitch.
Just inside.
And 3 of his 5 home runs this year have come on the first pitch.
Okajima with 3 straight fastballs. He's known for a splitter and a slow hook. You got to wonder when he's going to break that out, trying to set it up.
Foul back.
And splitter got the nickname the Okie-doke.
Certainly not overpowering with this fastball. Kind of sneaky. 86-88 so far tonight with those 3 fastballs.
And originally, when the Red Sox signed Matsuzaka, they thought that they also signed Okajima to give somebody for Matsuzaka to hang out with. Well, that wasn't the case. This guy's done the job for him. He's been a big-time factor in their bullpen.
Matsuzaka's the one hanging out in the DL right now. The 1-2. And Teixeira just got a piece to stay alive.
You can see the hitters with the helmets, and you don't like water beating down and just dripping into your eyes. You can see Teixeira trying to shake the water off his helmet there and rub the bill. I mean, your concentration levels as a hitter, I'm sure they have to be the same way as a pitcher, but just have to be so focused to find that ball coming upwards at 90+ miles an hour, and then be able to pick it out of midair and hit it hard with a stick.
Okajima against lefties this year, they are 2 for 21. Righties are 8 for 24 against him. The switch hitter Teixeira from the right side. Jeter leads off first with 1 out. Yankees trail 4-3.
I don't know if they're giving Del Carmen more time to warm up out there, but Okajima should stay in the ball game. Even if it gets Teixeira out, you got 2 lefties in a row coming up here, so it's not as if there's a rush to get Del Carmen into this ball game.
That's the one thing that Girardi has said that's really impressive to him about Teixeira. Teixeira's been struggling. And in these spots, when someone's struggling, they want to be the hero. They want to hit the home run. He said he does not expand his strike zone. He will take the walk. He said, so that's why I know it's coming, and it's coming soon.
Take the walk and work himself right back into this count. Down 0-2, now back to 2-2 and even. That one's driven out to left center field. Bay is there,
and he makes the play. Fought that all the way into his glove for the second out.
And when you're playing the outfield and the rain's coming down and you're looking up in the lights to find the ball, the rain is actually coming down at a different rate, and the raindrops catch your eye as well as when you're trying to follow the ball as much as you can, and man, you look it into your glove and you say, oh, finally it came down out of the heavens, and you make the catch. But a lot of things falling out of the sky at this point. But he's looking for the pearl.
So Bay puts away out number 2. And Teixeira talks it over with Swisher. Here's Hideki Matsui. Matsui 1 for 3. The cleanup batter tonight, the DH. He did not start yesterday's game against the lefty Lester. Foul that. Leading hitter in baseball right now in late inning pressure situations. Average hovering around 340. And this is a late inning pressure situation. Against Okajima lifetime, 2 for 6. Rain continues to fall here. Framed by the freeze over the grandstand.
It's almost as if the last few days of New York and the New York metropolitan area has been transported to the West Coast and has become Seattle, where the rain has been falling.
Had that NY poncho concession the last 3 days. Those are big sellers. Driven out to left field deep. Going back Bay. And he makes the play just in front of the track. And Josh Beckett likes what he sees. So in the 7th for the Yankees, no runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the 8th on a rainy Tuesday in New York. Continuing to rain here at the stadium. Slick looking ponchos covering everybody's jackets and uniform tops. as Jason Bay takes a pitch low. 1-0 from Jonathan Albaladejo.
So Phil Cope went 2/3 of an inning, allowed the double to Pedroia, but nothing else. One thing about Albaladejo, it's a pretty good sinker. When it's working well, it'll run in on the righties. He's got a slider that goes away from the right-handed hitters. He's like most pitchers, he's better off when he keeps the ball down.
2-1. 3-1. Six of Albaladejo's last 8 outings have been scoreless. But he's been tagged when he's been tagged, and that's why his ERA is a little bit higher than it should be. Grounded deep to third and booted by Pena. That'll be an E5.
Yeah, I know it's an error, but that's the sort of thing you see on an off field. When the track gets a little muddy. And I know it's the same for both sides, but the ball gets a little slick by the time it gets down there, and there's the miscue. And the E5 starts things off for the Red Sox here in the 8th inning. Gets in position. He's there. Ball runs up the glove, in and out, and no play.
Bay leads up first, held there by Teixeira. And he goes. There's a strike for the second. Got a good jump. He's in there with a stolen base.
Jason Bay's a good all-around player. You know, he's a good defender. You see this jump he gets. Albaladejo's got a high leg kick. He knows he's going on the first pitch. Tremendous jump. Molina really did not have a chance.
4th stolen base of the year for Jason Bay. Terry Francona said this afternoon in his press conference, Bay's a lot faster than you think. And he hadn't been caught this year stealing.
He will always be remembered as being part of that three-way deal that sent Manny Ramirez to the Dodgers. Red Sox still made it to the 7th game of the ALCS against the Rays, but the Rays won that one and lost in the World Series to the Phillies. Shattered bat. Soft ground ball to Cano. Moving to third is Bay.
Bay's best year stealing bases was in Pittsburgh. He stole 21 and got caught one time.
Now a J.D. Drew due up. A meeting at the mound.
It's a great job of Mike Lowell there on a hard-running 93-mile-an-hour sinker in off the plate to still continue to give himself up, knowing the ground ball to the right side. Puts Jason Bay on third base with 1 out. Mike Lowell does a lot of things well. This Red Sox team really seems to do a lot of things well. As you see, they're going to go ahead and pass on J.D. Drew.
This is a big run. This is a big run. You know the Red Sox bullpen has been strong. They're down 4-3, 8th inning, so they want to make sure that run doesn't score. So they will pitch around the dangerous Drew and go after Jeff Bailey.
Yeah, Jeff Bailey, more or less a bench player, hasn't had that many at-bats this year. And he's filling in for Kevin Youkilis tonight, who's out with an injured back.
That's ball 4. to J.D. Drew. Hey, tonight after the postgame on Yes, Yankees great Bernie Williams plays songs from his new album in the concert special, Bernie Williams Moving Forward. This intimate performance captures Bernie's recent appearance at the Nokia Theater in New York. Bernie Williams Moving Forward premieres tonight after the postgame only on Yes. Here's Jeff Bailey. 0 for 3. Struck out twice against Jabba. Actually was the last victim for Jabba. The second out in the 6th inning, Jabba's 12th strikeout, a career high.
And he's also hit to a double play, and that's what the Yankees are looking for right here.
Wet field, guy at third. You watch out for a suicide as well because the runner at third is fast. That's not what he wanted to do. So now the bases are loaded for Varitek.
That goes against the plan. They get a more experienced hitter at the plate, somebody who's more of a regular. As that fastball, you saw it running. He ran it in too far and got him on the elbow.
Saw this situation with Jason Varitek as you look at his career with the bases loaded. 3 grand slams. One of those was in Boston off of A.J. Burnett. It was a fastball first pitch. So you know Varitek's ready to hit right now. He's looking for a location and a fastball that he can drive.
If you're looking for the double play, Varitek has not grounded into a double play this year.
Abeladeo with a good first pitch. He's got a 2-seam fastball that runs. And certainly wants to throw a good one here to try to get the ball on the ground.
One and one. It's been raining since about the 6th inning. Tough going there on the mound. They've already applied the drying agent. Count 1-2.
See Varitek look right back at the home plate umpire, checking to see if that was a strike. He's been a little over aggressive. As you see, Abeladeo's got movement. This ball runs off the plate. Varitek chases, little foul tip.
Mikey, look at where'd that go?
Bases loaded, 1 out. The 1-2.
First pitch fastball, Burnett. You see there was more middle in. Varitek looking for it. Burnett questioned that pitch after the game. Bases loaded, first pitch fastball, trying to get ahead. Abeladeo has stayed away. Varitek has chased a couple of pitches. He's had good movement. Now he's got him in a 1-2 situation. Molina wants to talk to him about it.
AJ will pitch here tomorrow night against the Tampa Bay Rays. Coming in for their first appearance at the stadium.
He'll face Andy Sonnenstein. One, two. Right in on the fist.
All those pitches away help set that up. That you know, you watch the sequence of pitches, and one pitch sets up the next one. Slider in on the hands. Not fast enough to get to it because although previous pitches have been away, but actually it sets up the next one. Maybe go back to the fastball away with the good movement down, trying to get the ground ball, as David pointed out.
Abeladeo, your classic sinker slider type of guy. Threw all running fastballs away from Varitek, tried to slider in. See if they go back away, try to get the ball on the ground.
1-2. Baratek really hanging in there.
Another good tough slider in on the hands.
When you get in this situation, you're 1-2, Singy. You're almost thinking maybe strikeout. So to me, the strikeout pitch here is a fastball in. If you want to try to freeze it, otherwise you go sinker down and away.
High fly ball, deep right center. Melky back, he has room. He makes the catch. Tagging is Bay. He'll score. Moving to third is Drew. It's a sac fly for Baratek. And a big insurance run for the Red Sox. They're now up 5-3.
Well, it was a breaking ball. He didn't get it far enough in like the others had been. And it was kind of out in the middle of the plate. This is not the best one that he threw. Kind of hung. The Baratek gets the run in.
Kind of 3 straight sliders, and they all progressively got worse, really, in terms of quality and location. I'm sure Abeladeo was trying to get that down and in. Probably thought that was more of his strikeout pitch. Took 3 shots at it. By the third one, Baratek was ready for it.
Pitch to Nick Green is inside 1-0.
So the Red Sox have scored without the benefit of a hit here in this inning.
Count 1-1.
Well, you can see how the modern Major League Baseball feels. I mean, there are no puddles on the grass, but you look at the warning track and you can see the effect of the rain on the warning track as opposed to the grass itself. Back in the day, you could see some puddles out in the outfield, especially when the outfielders are running, but you don't see that in the modern age. Good pitch. All these fields are built with drainage systems.
One, two. Wow. Down goes Molina. And they cannot afford to lose him with the disabling of Posada today.
Take a look at this. This looks like it gets right underneath the mask, over the almost a collarbone area over the right shoulder. No matter how much protection catchers wear there, as you see that mask comes down low, almost a hockey style mask that he wears, there's always an open spot that always seems to get found. And this is right to the right of the mask.
And you saw home plate umpire Mike DeMuro. The umpires and catchers know the feeling. They've both been hit. So he walked the ball out to Abeladeo and gave it to him to give Molina a little bit more time.
Molina giving the signs right there, just in case the base runner on first goes, whether he's going to throw through or not. Who's covering second base? 1-2 count, 2 outs.
Punched out and a base hit by Nick Green. A huge hit. J.D. Drew scores. Jeff Bailey goes to third, an RBI single for Green. And now the Yankees are trailing 6-3. And the Yankee bullpen continuing to struggle, and Joe Girardi continuing to find the right combination out there.
Well, the first hit in this inning, man, that's not even a strike, and Green just stayed with it, punched it the other way like he made up his mind. I'm going to get a slider. It's out over the plate and barely gets it off the end of the bat, loops it over first over Teixeira's head. drives in a big run. It's the first hit of the inning for the Red Sox, and it's a stinger.
Go 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance.
Let's go all the way back to the first inning, and it's Jason Bay at the plate with 2 men on, and he finds a pitch that he likes and drives it into the seats in left field. That gave the Red Sox a 4-0 lead early against Jabba Chamberlain, who really came back strong. But that's our Geico play of the game. Jason Bay has hit 3 home runs against the Yankees this season.
So the grounds crew trying to give better footing for the infielders and the runners. They're working between second and third right now as Edward Ramirez has finished his warm-ups. You see what Edward's done. In 9 games, 10 in the third, 12 hits, 11 walks, at 23 base runners in 10 in the third. When you have a whip over 2, that's not good. And 9 strikeouts. Whip is walk and hits per innings pitched. And if you have anything about 1.2, you're doing pretty well. Anybody under 1 is outstanding. Mariano's usually under 1.
Bet you Zach Greinke's under 1.
Well, when your ERA is 0.40.
He's dealing.
And there's a strike to Van Everett. There's that changeup 0-2.
Yeah, Van Everett took over for Ellsbury, who had a tight hamstring. And when you make your living with your legs like Ellsbury is capable of, covering a lot of ground in center field and stealing bases, that has to be some concern for the Red Sox.
Some concern, obviously. A wet track tonight, kind of cool, damp weather. Saw Jorge Posada pull up lane last night.
Runner goes. And he fakes the second, and there was no one covering at third. If there had been, they had a chance to get Bailey. So a stolen base for Nick Green.
The Red Sox might have been trying to pick up an extra run with a double steal, hoping that Molina would throw through. He didn't go for it. And you're right, Michael. If Pena had been at third, they would have had to play at third.
No harm, no foul as Van Everett goes down on strikes, but 2 huge runs on 1 hit, 1 big error, and 2 men left. Go to the bottom of the 8th, 6-3 Sox. or made their way home. Yankees are trailing this one 6-3. Hideki Okajima warming up amongst the grounds crew as they try to get the mound in better shape. It has been a consistent rain since the 6th inning. And if you think about the water that this field has taken since Sunday when the game against the Angels was rained out, and then yesterday's game, the 2-hour and 20-minute rain delay at the start, and then obviously it was raining during the latter part of the game as well. This has absorbed a lot of moisture, but Hideki Okajima seems somewhat oblivious to all the action around him as he gets in his warm-up tosses.
You know, one thing, Michael, that has been happening, we talked about how good the Red Sox bullpen has been, and the Yankee bullpen, Yankees offense gets it going, gets the game presentable. At 4-3, they're down by a run, but then there's those tack-on runs that the Red Sox are able to put on, and that happened last night. It's happened again tonight.
Well, fans, celebrate the inaugural season of Yankee Stadium on Sunday afternoon, May 17th, when the Yankees take on the Twins at 1:05 p.m. The first 10,000 fans 14 and younger are going to receive a Yankee Stadium inaugural season bat courtesy of Yankees banking only at Bank of America. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. You can visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Nothing like Bat Day at Yankee Stadium. The first year of the ballpark. We're right smack in the middle of it, second month, as the Yankees try to climb back from a 6-3 deficit. No matter what the outcome of this game, and obviously the Yankees would like to win, the story of this game is the way Jabba Chamberlain pitched after the first inning. He struck out 12. His last 8 outs were strikeouts, and went 5 2/3 innings, 103 pitches. There's a strike to Robinson Cano. Now, you can't exactly say that the Yankees won't take the training wheels off Jabba, because he did throw 108 pitches, and I think he threw 25 in the first inning. That's probably what submarined him in the 6th. Ground ball is short. Green. One away.
Well, in my opinion, Michael, it was by far the best performance that Jabba's had as a Yankee in terms of mixing his pitches. We saw a very good changeup. We've been hearing about the 4 pitches that Jabba can feature. Did you see Nick Swisher on the night? 0 for 2 right now with a walk. But I've been waiting to see that changeup, Singy, and he broke it out tonight, and he used it against right-handed batters. For a right-handed pitcher to throw a changeup to right-handed batters and get them looking, striking out, that shows you that it's a quality pitch, and he threw a lot of hooks. By far his best mixture of pitches as a Yankee.
I think what happened in the first inning, he struggled so much, and to keep him in the ball game, we got to go to something else and see what else you got out here to get these hitters out. And he featured some very good stuff. And you mentioned the changeup was effective, the breaking ball is effective. A lot of those strikeouts, as Michael called them, were called strike 3, which means that very sharp breaking balls down and away into good spots.
Count 1-1.
We even saw the emotion, too. I mean, one of his punch-outs to end the inning, boy, looked like the Jabba you used to see out of the 8th inning. A little fist pump. And
I think one good thing for the Yankees here that with Jabba's performance. Also, we saw good performance from Phil Hughes in Detroit. Maybe not quite as sharp last night, but the stuff was there, the location wasn't. So if you can get those 2 youngsters going, you expect CC Sabathia, AJ Burnett, and Andy Pettit to do the job consistently. Once they get rolling, give you a good outing every time, a chance for you to win. But the question marks are Phil Hughes and Jabba to a certain extent, and you want to see those guys pitch like Phil Hughes pitched in Detroit, and like Jabba pitched tonight, and also pitched in Detroit. That's what you want to see. That's how you get your ball club rolling, when the starters give you that opportunity every single night to win a ball game. And what the starter does, he energizes the team. You get to about the 5th inning, and it's a tight ball game as Mark Melanson warms up in the Yankee bullpen. And then the team says, well, let's get this guy some runs. He's given us everything he has. He's holding the opposition down. And we're only a run down or 2 runs ahead. But, you know, when the bullpen comes in, they do have to keep those tack-on runs off the board.
Swisher again with a full count. Okajima deals, and he strikes him out. So 2 away. Nick Swisher 0 for 3 tonight with a walk.
And fastball was clocked at 86 miles an hour, but his slow stuff is so slow it makes the fastball look pretty good. Melky's been involved in one of the key plays in the game, and trying for the triple, which I had no problems with 1 out in the 4th inning. He was Red Sox executed perfectly, and that was one of the key plays in the game, throwing Melky out at third. The Yankees would have had a runner at third and 1 out, and you know, who says they would have scored or they would not have, but the opportunity certainly would have been there, and the Red Sox defense came up big.
Melky 3 for 3 tonight.
And when you have a tight ball game like it was at the time, every little thing, it either goes your way, it doesn't go your way, it could mean the outcome of the game.
One. Fouled away.
Couple of things on this relay as we watch Melky rip it into the corner. At this time, the Yankees are down by a run. He's thinking third base. There's the execution by the Red Sox, and they had several. First of all, it was Drew in the corner, picking the ball up barehanded. That saved a little time. He made a good throw to Pedroia, who caught the ball on his glove side, which means he could get rid of the ball quickly instead of turning all the way around. And then you had a good throw to third. It was off the line a little bit, but Mike Lowell made a good tag. So the Red Sox, all 3 of the players involved, made a good play to get that out at third base.
If the Yankees don't rally, they'll be at 500 at 13 and 13. And the Red Sox would pick up their 17th win against 10 losses. But the Red Sox numbers are a bit skewed because of that 11-game winning streak. The Yankees are looking to go off on that sort of streak as well. They're hoping Alex Rodriguez gets back and kind of ignites the offense. But that took a blow today because now when Alex Rodriguez comes back, he's just replacing Jorge Posada's bat. And Posada replaced by Jose Molina. Francisco Cervelli was called up. He's the backup catcher for the Yankees. And Joe Girardi said before the game that Posada probably out anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. He's on the 15-day DL. The 3-2.
You know, this would be the second time this year, Michael, where the Yankees seem to be starting to build. Second time this year they got to 3 games over. If they lose the game tonight, it'll be the second time that they've fallen back to 500 after getting 3 games over. They were 13 and 10, and also they were 9 and 6 at one time. And it just seemed, you know, one of the things you want to do, get to 5 games over, then build on that, get to 10, 15 and 20 and so forth.
There's a strike 3 as Cabrera down looking. So 1-2-3 inning for Hideki Okajima, who's retired all 6 Yankees that he's faced. We go to the 9th, 6-3, both sides.
It's the announcer's team. David?
Well, Jabba Chamberlain faced 25 batters tonight, Singy, and the first 5 got hits. Out of the next 20, he struck out 12. Pretty impressive. Sliders, changeups to righties right there. Fastballs, get up to 95 with his velocity. Good sharp slider, hooks. 12 strikeouts to finish in 5 2/3 innings, 108 pitches. Jabba Chamberlain, a Chevy player of the game.
Mark Melanson will be the Yankees' 6th pitcher tonight. Jabba, Veras, Koch, Albaladeo, Edward Ramirez, and now the youngster, Mark Melanson. And really, Joe Girardi has to find somebody that he trusts and the order of trust. And right now, the best read that we can get from the way he uses these guys, I think the guy he trusts other than Mariano is Phil Koch.
Well, that was what was so, as you see Melanson's numbers so far in 3 games. That was what was so impressive about Aceves last night was, you want guys coming out of that bullpen throwing strikes. Phil Koch does that. He's aggressive. Abeladeo got in trouble with his control a little bit tonight. Although the last hit he gave up was a good pitch, and Nick Green did a good job of flaring that ball into right field, which is a backbreaker. Dustin Pedroia's got 3 hits on the night, 3 for 4. What new?
Melanson against Boston on April 26, 2 innings. 1 hit, did not allow a run, walked 1, and struck out 1. And in the 2nd inning, that was in the Sunday night game, he loaded the bases with nobody out and got out of trouble without allowing a run.
Well, as a manager, as you see Saito warming up there, the former Dodger closer. As a manager, you just want to see guys coming in, going after guys, challenging guys. And if you give up some hits, all right, that's okay. But boy, if you're ball 1, ball 2, walking guys, the Yankees have had their share of base runners this year so far. Quite a few base runners, hits, and walks, and they're certainly going to get better. These guys have a lot of talent. Yankee pitching staff will straighten itself out, but right now you want to see guys challenge guys. And you see Melanson right here. You want to see this guy with this kind of arm come in and attack the zone.
When you go ball 1, ball 2, that increases your chances of giving up a hit. When you're pitching from behind in the count, have to zero in on the middle of the plate just to throw a strike. Big league hitters are big league hitters because they can hit that stuff. Well, that's why you got to jump ahead on counts. Be aggressive, as David says. Breaking ball, foul back though. This guy's tough to strike out.
Six games at Scranton Wilkes-Barre, the Yankees AAA affiliate. Melanson 10 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, and not allow a run, and struck out 17. So he's got nasty stuff. Walking just 3.
Melanson will feature low to mid-90s fastball. You saw him run that one up there almost to 95 miles an hour, kind of 92 to 95. But his out pitch is that good hard curveball around 80, 81 miles an hour. Over the top, he really reaches back and gets on top of that breaking stuff.
Now the count full at 3-2.
Well, his 3rd pitch is his changeup, which is probably in the mid-80s. You saw him bounce one there, but I guarantee you, out of those 17 strikeouts in 10 1/3 innings he got in Scranton this year, a lot of them were on that overhand breaking ball that he throws.
Let's see what he goes with the payoff right here. Pedroia steps out. Pedroia, Ortiz, and Jason Bay here in the 9th. Red Sox lead 6-3. And he walked him. Big night for Pedroia, 3 for 4 with a walk. And now Molina goes out and talks. Now, I've heard this idea presented to people. Major League Baseball is always trying to speed up the game. The game's a little too slow sometimes. Why not say if a catcher goes out and talks to the pitcher, it's a trip to the mound? I mean, why do you get a chance to constantly go out and talk to the pitcher? That's what signs are for.
The signs are for, but you know, sometimes you want to be on the same page as far as location, or maybe you want to say what we're going to do if this doesn't work, or you know.
But that's why the game's slow.
Yeah. Well,
One of the
part of the game.
One of the reasons.
You know, the home plate umpire always has the option to break that up. You know, if he feels like things are getting taken advantage of, I've seen home plate umpires walk right out there and break it up immediately. And certainly, it's up to the umpires to control the pace of the game.
We've seen Baratek take countless trips out there in these 2 days, and Molina has been out there a lot as well. When you're dealing with young pitchers, that's going to happen, you know, more than usual.
I think another thing, because you know, I have a tendency to judge these games according to the games back in the day, and what happens is they didn't have the commercial breaks as the lengthy as they are now, which builds into time of ball game, and that's primarily because of the business we're in, television. You have to sell the ads to make revenue, to pay the players, and it's just a cycle there.
Don't they know you have a hot date tonight, Michael? Let's go. Let's get this game.
I have a hot date with a bed to go to sleep. The 0-1. Hey, I love baseball. I don't care if it takes 5 hours, but sometimes there's games that are long that don't seem long, and then there are games that are long and they drag on. They shouldn't be that long because there's a lot of wasted time. I mean, I heard they used to shoo catchers away. Get out of here. You don't want to talk to them. Is that true? You used to insult Girardi.
Absolutely. You know, I tried to get the pace going. You know, my problem was slowing me down. Which, yeah, Girardi didn't come out and see me too much when I was on the mound. He knew. The only time was when Joe Torre came out to yank me out of the game.
Which wasn't too often.
And Joe has told me that David knew he could do that to me because I wouldn't have my feelings hurt. He said, but if he did it to Jorge, Jorge would get a little ticked off.
Oh, Jorge was a young catcher, too, and that was at the tail end of my career. And not a good matchup. Not Jorge's fault.
Full count to Ortiz. This is the 11th straight game, incidentally, between these two teams that's been over 3 hours.
You know, and you're right, Michael. I mean, the pace of the game, you know, there's long games and there's games that just drag. You know, when you have a young pitcher in there, obviously he's a little nervous. He's overthrowing some breaking balls, having trouble finding the strike zone.
Overthrowing a fastball there.
You know, there is the nervousness does play into it. Now you're going to see Dave Island, the pitching coach, come out and talk to him.
Yeah, this is what slows games down.
Now, you can say, well, you want this kid to get his pelt, so to speak, learn how to pitch through these situations. But, you know what? It's a 6-3 game. It's still doable. You don't need him to learn right here and give up a 3-run home run. The Yankees have to stop the bleeding to have a chance in the bottom of the 9th inning against Saito.
You see, that's the job of the home plate umpire. It's like, let's go. There's been a lot of talking, as you said, Michael. And that's the job of the umpire. You can break it up at any time.
Here's Jason Bay. Bay 1 for 3. Stolen base, 2-run score, 2-run home run. Count 1-0. The 1-0. 2-0. And David Robertson begins the throw. And the count 3-0, and boys, Melancon working himself into a jam.
Yeah, the danger here is that Bay has the green light, and you just throw a get it over pitch.
It's one of the hardest things, Michael, to do is just to slow yourself down. His heart rate's up. Obviously a rookie, not much experience.
There's a strike.
It's just really hard to get yourself to slow down. Once you get into that kind of rush mode, we've seen him miss up with a lot of pitches, both off speed and fastballs. It's just a question of emotions. The only way to get out of that is just to get more experience and have some success.
And he has walked the bases loaded. So the rookie right-hander for the Yankees has walked the bases loaded in the top of the 9th inning. And Joe Girardi wants his infield to come in to cut off the run.
You see the look on his face that there's no defense for the base on balls. You start putting people on base, and generally bad things is going to happen.
In 6 games in AAA, Melancon had 3 walks. He has 3 this inning. Deals to Lowell. Count 1-0. And you're not going to get close calls from an umpire if you're a kid and you're not throwing strikes. So even if it's right off the plate, he's not getting the benefit of the doubt. 8 grand slams for Lowell with the bases loaded. Obviously, grand slams have to have the bases loaded. 308 batting average with the bases loaded. The 1-0. Count 2-0. And in an eye blink, this game could be totally out of reach for the Yankees. Now Cano tries to slow down Melancon and also give David Robertson more time to throw.
We'll check and see if Robertson's ready. Yep, he is. I thought when Cano came over there that just to stall just a little bit more. And that was going to be Melancon's last pitch.
Well, you really have to feel for Girardi because there's nowhere to go in that bullpen other than Coke. So Melancon loads the bases, has a 2-0 count on Lowell. Now they have to bring in another kid, David Robertson. And what an unenviable situation for him. Trying to keep it at 6-3, top of the 9th inning. Melancon's out, Robertson's in. Mason postgame as they recap all the highlights from this game and take a look around Major League Baseball. Plus, Kimberly Jones talks to the team in the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame, and it's only on Yes. Yeah, that about says it all. It has not been a good 2 days for the Yankees against the Red Sox. They lose yesterday 6-4. They're trailing today 6-3, top of the ninth. Bases loaded. Nobody out. David Robertson comes on. And he inherits a 2-0 count from Melanson. And a bases loaded, nobody out jam. And Mike Lowell at the plate. And a strike. Count 2-2. And that's going to win you more fans in that dugout, just coming in and going at the hitter.
Right down the middle. You can see Lowell almost comes out of his shoes, swinging at it.
Foul back. Yankees about hit the Red Sox. Red Sox have outscored the Yankees.
The difference is that the Red Sox pitchers have handed out just one walk tonight.
Strike three, Lowell down looking. So Robertson comes back from down 2-0 to strike out Lowell, the 2-0 that he inherited. So there's one down, and now they're a double play ball away from getting out of this jam. J.D. Drew 0 for 3, an intentional walk, and a run scored.
That last strikeout was the 14th for Yankee pitchers tonight, even though Boston has 6 runs on the board. Jabba Chamberlain responsible for 12 of those.
Count 1-2.
Well, Robertson is doing what Melanson could do. He's coming and throwing strike after strike after strike. And even though he came in with a 2-0 count, he got Lowell. Now he's ahead on another tough hitter and Drew 1-2.
Robertson's best pitch is that real good hook. Got a good curveball. See if he tries to go to it here. Maybe get a strikeout.
With the fastball, the umpire Mike DeMuro, like he wanted to ring him up.
See Molina setting up almost off the plate. You can see that ball's just down. Molina tries to hold it there.
Two. And the count is full. No place to put J.D. Drew. Lowell still upset. High fly ball, shallow left. Tagging is Pedroia. The catch is made by Damon. And Pedroia just bluffs.
Well, 2/3 of the way there.
David Robertson's get a chance to pull a Houdini act here. Bases loaded, nobody out. As Singy just said, he's got the first 2.
Open up some eyes here.
And there's spots to be inherited in that bullpen. You do a good job, you're going to be used in an important spot the next game. It's the merit system out there. Here's Jeff Bailey. Started today at first. For Kevin Youkilis, who hurt his back swinging and fouling the ball off last night. was not put on the DL. He's in the dugout. Two and 0. David Ortiz dancing around second to stay warm, the 2-0. And now one pitch away from forcing in a run. Pedroia is at third. Achille Ortiz at second. Jason Bay is at first. 3-0. There's a strike taking all the way. Valley 0 for 3 and was hit by a pitch. 2 strikeouts. And now the count is full, so the base runners will go with a full count and 2 outs. And the pitch. He walked him in. So Pedroia comes home with the Red Sox 7th run. Bailey walks and gets an RBI.
You see Molina setting up down and away, and the ball runs up and in. And anytime a catcher's got to move his glove that much, as we've seen this inning go, pitchers having trouble hitting their spots. It's hard to get a call right there.
And here's the veteran, Varitek.
Well, actually looked a lot closer to being a strike than I thought it was.
Strike.
The way Bailey took it, it looked like, simple ball 4, go to first. It wasn't a simple ball 4.
Come on, Jay.
This is the type of inning, as you said, Michael, the Yankees have lost 5 straight to the Red Sox to start the year, or 4 straight rather, trying, a 2-game set here, plus got swept in Boston, looking to salvage a game in this series, and you can see the fielders just all on their heels right now.
Soft ground ball. Cano will field, and he will just get Varitek for the final out of the 9th inning. Check this out. The Red Sox score 1 run on no hits, 4 walks, and the bases are left loaded. Did the Yankees have a rally in their bones? Last legs coming up. Got 5 outs. He threw 32 pitches, so he's not available. He wasn't up even when it was a save situation. But that's the luxury that the Red Sox have now by having Saito in the bullpen, because Saito used to close with the Dodgers, and you know what? Francona really trusts him, David. He doesn't mind bringing him in to close the game, and now you could rest Papelbon and don't have to pitch him that many days in a row.
See Saito's numbers, 9 games, even though his ERA is 5. Only 2 walks and 10 strikeouts in 9 innings.
And he already has 2 saves. So Papelbon today really is just a spectator. He got 5 outs yesterday, as we mentioned, and threw 32 pitches. So can the Yankees rally here? They're down 4. Ramiro Pena is 0 for 3 tonight. And Saito deals a strike.
Saito, for his career, has 83 saves and 94 opportunities. His best year with the Dodgers in 07, he was 39 for 43 in save opportunities.
David, you and I were talking before the game. It might be becoming a trend here. You know, you have your A closer with the Red Sox, that's Papelbon, but you also have a guy that you can trust when he needs a day off to come in and close the game. Now, this isn't a save situation, but you know, Saito's got that type of experience, and here he is on the mound in the 9th inning.
You know what the Red Sox did during the offseason? They had their eyes on one guy, one prize, and that was Mark Teixeira. That's who they wanted to get. They were willing to spend a lot of money to get him. When he decided to go to the Yankees, rather than go out and try to get another big price free agent, they took shots. And they spread the money around, and they just rolled the dice. Saito had been hurt in the Dodgers. Took a shot with him. John Smoltz took a shot with him. Brad Penny took a shot with him. Rocco Baldelli took a shot with him. So if all of these guys, if half of them turn out, you know what? They roll the dice and won, and for a lot less money. But the one they really wanted got away, Teixeira, so they decided to just take chances. Smaller chances. There's one away.
Well, smaller chances with players who have been injured in the past.
That might have been construed as risks by other teams.
But risk in a way, but also probably signed with the Red Sox for less money than they've been making in the other places because of those risks.
You take risk on good guys. You know, Saito's well worth it. John Smoltz, future Hall of Famer in my mind. Really, all 3 of those Braves, the 3 amigos from the Atlanta Braves, they all get in the Hall of Fame in my book. Saito, he's a strikeout guy. 255 strikeouts in 198 career innings.
Here's Brett Gardner pinch hitting for Molina. And Gardner shows bunt, takes a strike.
I was watching Gardner take extra hitting today down near the Yankee clubhouse, and he was working on hitting the ball back through the middle, he and Kevin Long. And he was hitting some rockets, and a couple of them almost picked Kevin Long off, who was just diving behind the screen.
Just in case you don't know who the 3 amigos are in Atlanta, obviously John Smoltz, and Tom Glavine, and one of the most impressive pitchers I ever saw, Greg Maddux, as well.
Maddux just had his number retired with the Cubs. It was a co-retirement. Number 31 was retired for Ferguson Jenkins and for Greg Maddux.
2 pretty good pitchers right there. Both of them in the Hall of Fame wearing the same number for the ball club. Eventually Maddux will be.
The 2-1. Foul back.
Now, Maddux is the type of guy you could call him right now, and he'd take about 2 weeks. He'd be ready to pitch. So he can go out there, and throw strikes, get the ball down, get your ground balls.
He was a pitcher. You know, he wasn't overpowering in any sense of it. He just had a good feel for what he was doing, when to take off, when to add. You got Tim Bogar and DeMario Hale moving people around out there.
Strike 3. Gardner down looking, so he strikes out as a pinch hitter. And the Red Sox are 1 out away from a win. And that's going to bring up Derek Jeter. Derek tonight, 2 for 4. Sato throws pretty hard, and that one's outside 1-0. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Red Sox bullpen has 3 lefties and 4 righties. The 3 lefties, Okajima, who we've seen, Javier Lopez and Hunter Jones, and the righties, Manny Del Carmen, Saito, Ramon Ramirez, who we watched yesterday, and then the closer, Jonathan Papelbon.
It seems a lot of the pitchers from Japan, they incorporate deception in their windup. And you can see the over the hand, the hesitations.
That's up the middle. Let's see if they can get Jeter. Pedroia will get Jeter, and that will do it. A good play by Pedroia, and the Yankees go down in order, and they go down in the 2 games in this series tonight. They lose 7-3. So Josh Beckett will pick up the victory, and Java Chamberlain, who pitched well other than a rotten